Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another presentation of the NACL right here on NHLGamer. My name is Toogie, not legally, but my name is Toogie. Joined here, as always, by my broadcast partner, Sin. Sin, it is good to be back, reunited after a short stint away. Sin, you're muted. You blew it, Sin. You blew it. However, you're still muted, Sin. Here's the thing. You can't say that it's an unprofessional move to have been muted at the start of the stream, because anyone who caught my cast with Drew Goldfarb yesterday for the ECL Elite, he was muted at the very start of the stream as well. So mistakes happen, buddy. I will ask you again, how you feeling? Are you good to go?
I am feeling good, and mute buttons should work 100% of the time and not just when it's, convenient for it. But we have a great night of sixes action ahead of us. I can't wait to get started.
That we do. We will be starting off with a, as they call it in the scene, a biggie. It's Entourage and Composure and home series, and after that we'll be switching and following Composure as they take on BBB, three of the top teams in the NACL this season. So I'm excited to see how this goes down and how it all plays out. Sam, what do you say we get into breaking down the action, breaking down the matchup a little bit here? Again, Entourage and Composure, a battle between the fifth team in the league, that being Entourage, a 10-3-1 record, 21 points on the year. You take a look at their lineup right now. Of course, we'll get into the individual breakdowns in a moment, but tell us a little bit of something about Entourage here as we head into, this series.
Entourage is a team, and, as you mentioned, in fifth place, but they stand out mostly defensively. They're able to put up enough goals to win. They're really good at limiting the shots against them. However, putting the puck in the net, not so much of a strong suit. And on the other side, Composure is incredibly good at both of those things. And this is a bit of a rivalry between these two teams as well.
Right, in general with our matchups here tonight, kind of a rivalry night theme here going on this fine Tuesday evening. I think the one thing to note here, though, hot streak's a very big theme heading into this matchup. In particular, Entourage winning 5 of their last 6. Composure, though, winning 9 of their last 10. So we get a look at their lineup here as well. Second place in the league, Sin, with a 12-2 record. What stands out for you with the Composure lineup?
Well, it's their goals for and goals against ratio. They're first in the league in scoring with 4.57 goals for per game. Third in the league defensively with 1.77 goals against. And they're doing a little bit of a new strategy this year. We see a lot of teams like to trap it up, and Composure this year have decided, let's throw a bit more aggression out there. And it's looking like it's working wonders. They're still able to shut things down defensively, and they are scoring a lot more goals.
Absolutely. Now, again, when you talk about these two teams, Sixes success comes to mind. Entourage, 3-time Sixes champions. They won Caps Gaming back at the end of February. Composure, 4 Sixes titles to their credit. Of course, not exactly the finish that they would have wanted in that Caps Gaming tournament this past February, but we talked about it when we covered Composure a little bit earlier on in this NACL season. They were looking to bounce back. They were looking for the NACL to be that kind of catapult to really kick off a strong 2020. And thus far, that has absolutely been the case. And as you mentioned, there are some strategy differences between the two teams. We'll get into that a little bit more as the action breaks down. But for now, let's get into the individual matchups, because there is a lot of story to tell here. And what do you say, Sim? We start off with the center matchup, the key matchup perhaps for this evening, as it is J-Claws and Mr. Hit Dat, also known as Nick. And of course, we might be going with that because, I don't know, I tend to sound foolish on occasion. That might be the one name throughout the entire NHLGamer banner where I'm just like, yeah, Mr. Hit Dat. All right, then. Tell us a little bit more about these two and the massive point differential that you're seeing on screen right now.
Yeah, well, games played obviously has a hand in that, but you can't take away anything from Nick there. I mean, 19 goals, 20 assists, 39 points in 14 games played. We're seeing just how well Composure is able to put pucks into the net. I mean, he's 6th in goals, 5th in assists, tied for 2nd in points, and he has 55.4 face-off percentage to boot. I mean, he kind of just does it all.
Absolutely. And again, as we've talked about so often, with a league of this caliber, the talent level that we have, the center matchup is often crucial to a team's success. And you talked about it a little bit, the offensive firepower difference right now. Entourage, fast style of gameplay, love to get the quick counterattacking goals. But as you mentioned, the goals for not exactly up there right now, only 10th. They've been a much stronger defensive team. Whereas, and you can kind of see it with the stats there, when we're talking about Nick, Composure is the top team in terms of goals for thus far, averaging 4.5 goals per game, as opposed to having the 3rd best goals against average per game at a 1.77. And it really does start with that center matchup. Taking a look at who is on the wings for these two particular centers. For Entourage, we have Hendry and Fisher on the right-hand side. And of course, for Composure, Marco and Tendy. And again, there is that drastic difference in points, but does that say the whole story? I'm not entirely sure.
It can, but at the same time, wingers are more than just scoring machines, right? You still have to help play defense. You still have to participate all over the ice, and that can be very important. And when you're talking about a transition team like Entourage, it's up to the wingers a lot to not just be where, in the right spot, but almost anticipate where the play is going to go. And so that transition game, if they can get around behind the defense, that's going to play a big part. So yeah, Marco, Tendy, incredible at putting the puck in the net, but Entourage, they're kind of a momentum-driven team with those transitions. So if they're able to get those chances, and Hendry and Fisher are really on the mark with their timing and awareness, then they've got a real shot to start breaking it open on the scoring side of things.
As we have alluded towards thus far, easy for me to say. Again, Entourage, the offensive numbers perhaps not where you would expect, but they have been rock solid defensively. Composure with that strategy change, as you mentioned, Sin, they have gone from a top-notch trap team to being a team that just goes all out. It's all about pressure and getting the puck on net. And of course, thus far, it has worked out. But you have to wonder, with them playing a team of this caliber, with Entourage, are they still going to try that same strategy, or are they going to try that head-to-head, matchup to try and lock it down? It could end up being, a true battle of offense versus defense and just who folds first. It might come down to Entourage's ability to counter with their counterattacking opportunities, which they are extremely good at doing. But perhaps the biggest battle will be of the defensemen. That's what we call a segue in the biz. We have New York Ranger 95, also known as George, alongside Regs for Entourage, for Composure, Mark and Odie. And again, you see the numbers. Not surprising, of course, to see Composure leading the way. But obviously, the key matchup here, and we talked about this before, is it Regs against Odie flat out? I mean, that's not to disrespect Mark or George here, but all in all, I mean, it is perhaps surprising to see someone like Regs, as we've talked about, who has had, a fair amount of, singles success, on defense for a team like this, but that clearly hasn't stopped him in terms of putting up points thus far.
Yeah, they're definitely kind of the puck-carrying, puck-moving style of guys, both Regs and Odie back there. Both of them put up a decent amount of points. Regs leads defensemen in scoring with 5 goals. Odie third amongst defensemen in assists with 17. But we can kind of see from the giveaway-takeaway number. Regs does lead his team with 44 takeaways. He also has 119 giveaways. On the flip side, Odie, 34 takeaways on the back end, 126 giveaways. In contrast to that, Mark with 78 giveaways, and on the other side, George with 72. You can see just how much more Regs and Odie seem to have the puck. So they're the kind of guys that want to start that rush, kind of try to make the first play. And when you have an aggressive team like Composure, that can create a lot of havoc back there for Regs. So he's definitely going to be tested. But Composure, as you mentioned, still a very good trap team. They can still pull that out. They don't have to play aggressive. And maybe against a skilled opponent such as Entourage, they might dial it back a little bit and try to play the waiting game at first and see if space opens up for them.
I think that's the interesting thing about this matchup is, you talk about the talent levels, the offensive, prowess of each side, the defensive prowess of each side. Of course, both these teams in the top 3 in terms of defensive statistics thus far. It's very interesting to see how it's going to play out. And so oftentimes, Sin, we know, we've called it out and been like, oh, it looks like it's going to play out this way. Teams love to flip the script on a last-minute notice. So as much as this could be a defensive battle, we could easily see a high offensive number here overall between these two teams. As we get a look at the goaltender matchup, these two might have something to say, though, about a high-scoring affair. 2 of the top goaltenders in the league thus far, Sin.
Definitely. I mean, Shekel, second in save percentage, third in goals against, tied for third in shutouts. And on the flip side, Hart, not too high up on the save percentage side of things, but 4th amongst goals against. And I think that speaks to Composure. They don't allow too many shots, but as they're aggressive, maybe those high quality opportunities can appear a bit more. And while he may not face a lot of shots, maybe a lot of those are A-plus chances, which does lend itself to maybe Entourage having a bit of an advantage there. But yeah, as you said, I mean, both of them on the top of their games. They're on the top of this league in goaltending. And, to have a good team, you need a good goaltender. And, these 2 guys up there.
Like I said, a very interesting matchup with 2 teams, both in the top 5 of this league thus far through the relatively early stages. We're approaching the midway point of the regular season in terms of games played. Excited to see how this plays out. But as we've talked about, it can go any number of ways. Again, both teams winning the majority of their most recent games. Of course, Composure only losing 2 games on the season thus far through 14. I'm just intrigued to see how this goes down. And like I said, after this, again, it's a home and home between Entourage and Composure. After this, we'll be covering Composure in a home and home series against BBB. So like we said, a rivalry night between 3 of the top teams in the North American scene being covered for you here tonight. Now, Sin, again, we can go over stats all day long, and there are some impressive stats. Obviously, I mean, you mentioned with Tendy being the top point getter, in the league thus far. You talk about the defensive ability, the offensive ability. Special teams could also be a key factor, despite these teams, despite both of these teams having a decent disciplinary track record, we'll say, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, Entourage, I mean, they don't take too many penalties, and when they do, they have been perfect so far on the penalty kill, 100%, which is, through that amount of games, is very impressive. I mean, that's not many teams can say that. Yes, sometimes it's harder to score on the power play when it comes to EASHL, but they're good in the way that if they're giving up penalties, they work hard to not allow themselves to take any more and keep putting themselves shorthanded, because again, with Composure, who's aggressive, if you keep going shorthanded against them, eventually they're going to, I think, find a way to score. So the streak is on the line for Entourage, but most important thing for them is to worry about getting that W, and that starts with good discipline.
Absolutely. And again, as you mentioned, to have a perfect penalty kill, despite the second fewest amount of penalties thus far, all in all, extremely impressive. We'll see whether or not that is able to maintain. And like I said, it's such a tough matchup to break down, because we can sit here and talk about the individual numbers all we want. It is the ability of the teams like this to adjust on the fly and adapt. And we've talked about that with Composure quite a bit already, because we've already seen that from them this season. Their chemistry, the tenure that they have, the experience playing as a team together, the ability to change on the fly, whether it be before the game, mid-game, going from that extremely all-out offensive style to being able to turtle up with the best of them and limit the chances. It makes a game like this, it makes a series like this against another top team so unpredictable, and just in terms of what we're going to see. So, like I said, I'm all for, I love stats, of course. You love to see, like, okay, the special teams, where do these teams rank in terms of goals, goals for, goals against, who has the better offense, who has the better defense. But we've seen so many times you get into a matchup with teams, of these, this caliber on a level like this, and the script is flipped so frequently. So I think really it is just a matter of seeing how it all plays out, but very excited to do that ultimately. So again, for those of you just joining us, it will be a home and home series, Entourage and Composure. And again, we will be covering Composure's other home and home series against BBB in the immediate aftermath. Of course, on the NHLGamer side of things, NHLGamer.com, all the information that you need, not only for the NACL, but for the ECL and the 4 tiers of that system. over on the European side of things. So check out NHLGamer.com if you have not already done so. Of course, Twitter, Instagram, you can find us there as well. And hey, if you're watching on Twitch right now, drop us a follow. I'll wait. Thank you.
You will.
And if you didn't do it, what's the matter with you? Sin, we are just about ready to go for the beginning of this first game of 2. Am I going to put you on the hot seat here? Do you have a prediction? Or
I do.
I'm not going to demand one, but do you have a prediction?
I do, actually. You know, gotta let my own bias show. Anytime I see a team that likes to be aggressive with the forecheck and isn't afraid to kind of dump the puck in and have a lot more dimensions, I gotta go with that team. The versatility is key, I think, in a high-quality sixes matches. So I'm saying Composure is going to get the 2-0 or the split. I don't think there's any way Entourage will get the 2-0. And that's a bold prediction because of how good they are. But that's what I'm sticking with.
Absolutely. We are just about ready to go. Again, the first game of 2 between Entourage and Composure, 2 of the top teams in the league at this point. We will see how it all breaks down. Let's get down to it. Again, so often we see the battle in the neutral zone, especially between 2 teams of this caliber. And we'll see if that happens to be the case as we get things underway. Mark taking his time, leading his way through the neutral zone. Able to find Tendy on that right-hand side. Quick shot on, and a glove save by Shekel. So there we see it already, Sin. The quick shot from Composure, not afraid to just get pucks on net.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be important. You want to test these goalies pretty early on as well, and sometimes you never know what can go in or what can kick out front for a rebound.
Chance for Tendy again, and he buries it on the far side, beating Shekel. Blocker's side, quick move off the draw, comes up with the puck, and Composure strike early. Don't know if there'll be an assist on that goal or not, and it is indeed unassisted, but Tendy with the goal set.
Yeah, and that's exactly how you want to get started off with. You see Entourage looking for the quick strike, but again, taken away by Composure. They get it back into the neutral zone, but Entourage doing a good job of limiting them thus far.
Quick chance picked off on the pass back to the point. Tendy has it again. Drops it off for Nick. Looking for a bit of space. Quick passing again. The shot from Marco doesn't go through, but he still has possession. Loses it on the double team. Fisher comes up with it for Entourage. We'll see how they're able to respond after giving up the early goal. Hendry looks for the cut back in. Defended well by Odie. Another hit there, but Hendry back in possession. Around the back of the net. Quick pass. Finds the man. That's George, the defenseman. Able to find the space. Spectacular pass there. Down low, up high. And Entourage are right back in it.
Yeah, and that's their quick counter-strike ability. They found a little bit of space down low, and that's such a popular play. To skate behind the net and kind of do that pass sort of around your back. You get the goalie moving one way, you pass it back to your winger or whoever is out front, and they can bury it if that goalie starts moving the other way. It's very hard as a goaltender to kind of predict which way that's going to go.
Quick chance here immediately right off the draw. Chance for Nick, brings it down low, finds Marco. Pass there, back to the point, back into the corner, and around the back of the net. Composure setting up, looking for the space, opportunities. Tendy tried to pull the trigger, it was blocked away. Here's Hendry again, now for Entourage. Bit of space, cuts back out, throws one on, and denied by Hart. Composure able to regain possession. We'll try not to make too many Composure puns. A chance there. Odie able to carry it in. On the backside, the defenseman covering for him. Chance here again. Fisher down in the corner. Tries to send it down low. Can't find Jay Claus on that. In possession now. He throws it in front. Quickly turned over again. Jay Claus in possession for Entourage. Bides his time. Finds Reg. Slap shot on blocked. Claus has it again. Not able to find the pass there. Looks like he might have been looking for Hendry. And now here's Tendy on the backside. Might be the battle of the green icons. Hendry and Tendy. Opportunity here for Regs leading the way. Finds Jay Claus. Tried the cut back. Defended well. Picked up by Marco. Now again, a couple of quick passes out. Composure back in possession. The early goal, but they give one up in response. And a quick dump into the far side. Hendry offside, but a good look there, Sin, as we get a look at, the willingness to try something different.
Definitely, and that's what it's going to take. Those area passes, those kind of dumps, not all the way down, but sort of you're trying to lead. It's almost like a pass. You're trying to lead your teammate, and banking it off the boards is a really good way to sort of spread things out and get Composure kind of off of the play, because they're very good at collapsing on the puck carrier.
Interception, not to interrupt Odie with space, tries the tuck on the back post, couldn't get it. Looking for the highlight reel goal. Nick is back in defense, having trouble with Hendry though. Quick set of passes, Hendry the wraparound attempt, defended well by Hart, may have hit the side of the net. Again, now Composure in possession. Odie looking for that bit of space, great patience on display. Finds Marco. A little bit of trouble in the double team. Marco still has it. Now back to the point. Odie shot on, and the blocker save by Shekel. Covered by Marco. Again, Odie, and another blocker save from Shekel. Great job from the Entourage netminder. Opportunity here again now. Mark in possession. Actually, it's not Mark. That would be Nick stepping up and making the play. Often confusing with the center. For Composure, willing to drop back and allow these two defensemen to do what they're capable of doing. Quick pass over. Tendy's going to get there. Drops it back for Nick. Shot on. Rebound is there, but off the side of the net. And we're getting a great look at the Composure game plan, sticking to what they've been doing so far this season. Just throwing pucks on net and trying to create offense at any given opportunity. Not looking to waste any possessions as they draw the penalty. Well done draw there, and it is going to be Composure going to the power play. And a big early draw here. Marco quickly has it. Looks like getting a chance to breathe. It gets in a word of edgewise. Opportunity for Marco. Can't get the shot on. Regs has it for Entourage. Can he clear? Yes, he can. Finds a little bit of space past Marco. Might be upset with himself for that one, Sin.
Yeah, you come off the boards a little bit just to kind of hedge your bets, but that was a very smart play to get the puck all the way down.
Opportunity again here, though. Composure still with plenty of time. Odie has it at the point, looking for space. Finds Mark. Steps in. Great pass. Great save again from Shekel. And the puck is cleared. Entourage's goalminder again. Goalminder, netminder, goaltender. Call him what you will. He's been fantastic since allowing the goal. Shot by Odie. Rifles just wide. And that will bring us to the end of a very fast-paced first period. Again, the early goal from Tendy for Composure, his 23rd of the season. He was tied for third heading into this matchup, but George, the defenseman, was able to respond with just his second of the year, assisted by Hendry and Reg. Sin, what's the second period going to look like? Again, that was a very fast-paced opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, we kind of saw Entourage kind of getting the game that they kind of wanted. A lot of transition, and I like what they're doing on the breakout. They know Composure may try to forecheck him, may try to be aggressive, so what they're doing is they're looking for that quick breakout pass. You know, the quick first pass to get them into the neutral zone so they don't start to get hemmed in to their defensive zone, and that's a great adjustment. Usually teams like to take their time, but not Entourage. They want to get out of the zone quick.
We are good to go there. The opportunity now. Marco down the backside. An opportunity down the back end. Just didn't go through for Entourage, but still pressuring. And now again, Composure back in possession. The big spin from Odie. The pass and another shot just wide. Another opportunity for Marco. Not able to get it through. Again, Shekel. Couple of big saves thus far for Entourage. Opportunity here, though, for Fisher. Sauces it across. J-Claw's nearly able to get there. But a couple of chances going just wide for Composure. A little bit of trouble from Mark. J-Claws has it. Now again back to Fisher. Can't get the pass over to Hendry. As the puck will go all the way down. No icing on the play as Regs recovers. Patience finds Fisher. But again, now we see that Composure forecheck going to work. Regs having trouble. Still in possession. Turns it over again. What a battle in the corner. But ultimately Regs survives. And Entourage now on the rush. Hendry. That pass to Fisher, couldn't get it through. Perhaps might want to see a shot there, maybe a rebound attempt available. The opportunity now again, shot for Marco. And another big save for Shekel, doing a fantastic job thus far to keep this a tied game despite that early goal against. Always nice to see a goaltender bounce back like that, Sin.
Definitely. It can be so disheartening to allow that first quick goal, but when you're able to bounce back and make some key saves, he's in the zone now. He's feeling it.
Good opportunity. for perhaps a turnover, but you see Entourage backing off, willing to play the trap game, inviting the pressure in. Composure not able to stay on side here. Entourage come up with it for a moment. J Claus, can he balance the line? He can. Now it's Hendry. Looks to throw one on, not able to do so. Mark having a bit of trouble with J Claus. He's going to come up with it, throws it in front. The shot doesn't get on target, though. Good opportunity there for Fisher. Great forechecking from J Claus. There's Marco now for Composure. Loses it in the double team. It was George coming over to the far side to help out Regs on that right-hand side. Quick pass again is offside. 8:43 remaining here in the second period. The first game of two between two of the top teams in the NACL this season, Entourage and Composure. Again, the early goal from Tendy for Composure, but Shekel for Entourage in goal has been fantastic ever since. Neutral zone battle. Entourage able to knock it loose, but not able to come up with possession. Now here's Marco. Still battling with Regs on that right-hand side. A really interesting matchup to watch. Regs has trouble in the double team. Nick comes up with the puck. Not able to get the pass. Still in possession. Look for the wraparound, but a great bit of help defense there from the center, J Claus, but he turns it over on the counter-attack. And Sin, despite Composure being relatively aggressive, they've done a great job of controlling the neutral zone through the second period.
Definitely. Entourage is doing a really good job as we see a chance here.
Oh, and another big save for Shekel off the one-time bomb. But again, as soon as we think we know the story, that there might be that bit of a neutral zone trap, a little bit of a battle. Quick chance develops for Composure. Another spectacular save for Shekel. Under 5 minutes remaining here in the second period. Hendry now carries it through. Loses it on the pressure. I believe that was from Nick helping out his defense. Actually, that was Odie again stepping up, as he so often does. I think that's really one of the things, again, that makes the Composure team click the way they do. As, of course, Odie's ability to jump up into the play. 19 points in 14 games as a defenseman. We talked about it. He and Regs, one player on each side with single-player success, but not able, or, not running as a forward, perhaps, which is what you might expect, as we often see, say, perhaps in the ECL, someone like Eki, leading the way up top for the defending champions in Linköping. Opportunity for Hendry, not able to find the pass. J Claus risking a trip. Great job by Nick to avoid the pressure, but can't find the follow-up pass. Back to the defense, approaching the final minute of play.
Yeah, right now, Entourage, they can't really get much set up offensively. That being said, they did have a brief chance right there, swallowed up, but maintaining some pressure. But look at the aggression from everyone on Composure. They're just trapping the puck carrier and forcing those turnovers.
A little bit of space developing. Trouble at the near post. Both teams threatening. Final 4 seconds. Marco trying to find a bit of space on the short side. Couldn't do so. The shot is not on in time. Deflects high and wide. That brings us to the end of the second period, still tied at 1 goal apiece. Sin, as we get ready for the third period, what's going to be the difference maker here? Because it's going to be the face-offs, the time on attack. Of course, Composure, getting the better of time on attack, getting more shots, but perhaps not as many shots as you would expect, with the team that has the #1 shots per game, statistic in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, Composure, they want to play aggressively. They want to try to force those opportunities, but Entourage doing a really good job sort of limiting that. As we spoke before, when they make that first quick pass on the breakout, they're golden. They're out of the zone. But when they delay just a little bit, we see 2 guys pressure the defenseman from Composure, and that really puts Entourage in trouble. And on the flip side, as we see there, they're not able to set up and establish in the offensive zone. They need to find a way to generate offense.
Every time Entourage seemingly win it back in the neutral zone, Composure able to regain possession. See if that's the case again here. Hendry actually has a little bit of space, but again, great poke check from Odie. J Claus. Possession in the corner. Tries to throw it in front. Intercepted well by Nick, helping out his defenseman. Dishes it off to Odie. Burst of speed through the zone. Settles down, looks for Nick. One time, deflection bid. Doesn't go through. That was actually Mark at the point. Nick was in front on the deflection opportunity, but not able to get a piece of it. And again now, it's Nick dropping it back to Odie, looking to lead the rush. Again, we won't use any Composure puns there, but excellent patience on display from the team. 3 men deep. They come up with the puck. Shot on, and another save by Shekel, robbing Tendy. He has the lone goal for Composure thus far. But again, right now, main, if we were to name a player of the game for Entourage through it, the stage of the game, it would have to be Shekel. Another spectacular save there. Great positioning. The opportunity again for Fisher and Hendry to try and make something happen, but Composure standing their ground, not letting these two wingers get the space that they're looking for. Marco sends it down low to Nick. Out back again. Quick bit of passing, looking for a proper lane, looking for a set play here. Clearly they want one thing in particular. Odie not able to maintain. Puck now up to Hendry over the blue line for Entourage. Not able to get the shot on again. And really, Sin, that's been the key for Composure thus far. Might not be able to give you an opportunity to get a word in here. Shot on! And there you go. You could see it coming. It's a fantastic goal for Nick. Composure regain the lead. So solid defensively, and it pays off again.
Yeah, and we see right there Composure on the counterattack, but it all starts in the defensive end. Entourage, they're looking for those A-plus chances. They're looking for that tiny bit of space. Composure simply is not letting them have it, and there's only so many times that Shekel is going to be able to bail you out back there against the top-scoring team. Composure breaks through, takes the lead. Entourage, they're going to need something big now. They got to get into the zone. They have to establish an attack.
Great feed in front. Odie able to find Nick, and again, we talked about it. His ability to drive the play, make things happen for Composure on display there yet again. Halfway through the third period. Here's Hendry for Entourage, the big spin. J-Claws the opportunity and a second chance. Still doesn't go. Looked like J-Claws had the opportunity to shoot on empty nets. As Fisher's shot goes wide. Covered by his teammates, though. Hendry tries to find Fisher, not able to get the shot on. And another unfortunate chance goes, but a good counterattack there from Entourage. A good bit of pressure. They're not out of this game. More of that, and they might find the chance. Composure going to look to tighten up, but here we go. They're on the offense. Chance now again. Slap shot on from Nick. Just testing the angles for Shekel, but Shekel stands tall. Again, 2-1 in favor of Composure at this point. Key face-off coming up here.
Yeah, they're trying to see if they could catch Shekel off guard, try to get him moving, but he's been so calm and in perfect position between the pipes.
Chance again for Tendy, not able to get the pass in front. Great defense there. Regs has trouble, finds its way to Nick. Shot on. Didn't get all of it. Shekel able to get a pad to it. Gets tested on the short side again, but Tendy not able to find the space. Another great job by Shekel here. He has allowed the 2 goals, but again, perhaps the only reason why this game is close. 5:35 left. Faceoffs 8-6 in Composure's favor. Now 8-7, a big defensive zone draw win on the tie-up. Bit of space for Regs. Dishes it down low, and again, shot on from Hendry. Perhaps the wrap attempt didn't go. Loose puck is covered by Hart. And we'll have a huge face-off here yet again in the Composure offense, or in the Composure defensive zone. Huge chance for Entourage then.
Yeah, they need to get this possession here, because this is one of their best chances to set up here. Composure's not giving them anything through the neutral or at the blue line.
Loose puck chance. Fisher just not able to find it. Hendry was there for the passing option. Here's Tendy now. Bit of space. Putting the moves on. Now in the corner, Marco. Back for Tendy. Not able to get the shot on. Great job by J-Claws. They go for the slap shot on net. Unintentionally, I presume. And again, now Fisher dishes it back for J-Claws. The opportunity! And the space is there! Hendry able to beat Hart. Entourage have tied this game. The slap pass down leads to a good bit of work behind the nets. And Entourage have tied this game in the final few minutes, Sin.
Yeah, and Entourage, we see kind of what their game plan is. If they can get that puck behind the net, they have faith that their 2 options on the end can one of them is going to be able to get open for a one-time option, and that puts Hart in a rough spot. He almost has to cheat one way or the other. That time, he cheated to the way he got scored on before. They kick it out to the other side to Hendry. He buries it. Tie game. Tough one for Composure to give up here, but Entourage, it seems like all they need is that little bit of space. Composure might have to kick that aggression up a bit more.
Anybody's game at this point. Next goal most certainly to win it, but with 2 minutes left, you never quite know. Regs able to find Fisher. Good poke check there, but Entourage able to regain possession. See what Odie can do with the puck here over the line. Brings it down low into the corner. It's where he wants to be. Finds Marco, tries to dish it back in front, but the puck will go all the way through. Back down to the Composure zone. Controlled breakout here from Mark. Able to find Nick for that space. Hands it off to Marco. Now again, Mark is there. Looking for a shooting lane perhaps. Dishes it back! Finds the open man! And yet again, Composure, for the third time in this game, grab the lead, this time with under a minute to play. It's Nick who's able to bury that one, Sin.
Might be the backbreaker. Look what happens when Composure is able to get that puck in their end. I mean, they could just hold it there forever, cycling, spreading out Entourage, and they get that perfect opportunity and bury it. Oh, almost.
It goes just wide there. Frantic pace here down the stretch. Regs has it. Looks to cut in. Nobody there. 20 seconds remain. Fisher for Hendry. That's Fisher who recovers the loose puck. Tries to find Jay Claus. Defended well by Mark. Can't find his man on the stretch pass, but Tendy's able to recover. Final 7 seconds. Tendy sends it down. Marco's going to give chase. Chops it on to Shekel. Plays it out. Too little, too late. Composure is able to hold on and get the victory here in Game 1. Good fight shown by Entourage, but ultimately it is Composure who is able to finish this one off. Nick, his second goal of the game, holds up as the game winner.
Yeah, and that's the problem with trying to play catch-up against a team like Composure, who loves to be aggressive, who is at home playing on the forecheck and can really limit you from entering their own zone. When you get behind and you're constantly chasing the game, I mean, it's very hard if you're a team like Entourage, especially as, like, you're trying to... You want to get stuff set up. You're a transition team. Maybe forechecking's not your strong suit. And when you're behind in a game, you almost have to turn that aggression out. It takes you out of your comfort zone. And so Entourage, having to be, forced to be a bit more versatile. And in that case, they kept it close. They did a great job. I think a lot of credit has to go to Shekel. That could have easily been a 5-2 margin, but he was great. But still, you lose like that. Composure go up 1-0 in this 2-game series.
Absolutely. I mean, with Entourage, we talk about them wanting to play that fast style. And while it was there, Composure did a great job of really controlling the game throughout. It wasn't for a lack of chances with Entourage. And again, we saw the goals from George stepping up, the left defenseman for Entourage stepping up, getting involved in the offense. But we didn't see too many examples of that. Where on the flip side, we saw Mark and Odie all over the offensive zone for Composure. And I really do feel as though that was the difference maker. Again, the goals for Hendry and George. Hendry's goal, I mean, final few minutes, I thought that was going to be what Entourage needed to at least get to overtime and get a point out of it. Good bit of puck movement, but again, the example of the puck movement in that final few minutes leading up to Hendry's goal, it was more of a rarity for Entourage that they were able to actually get those shots on net. The opportunities were there, but a couple of them just went wide. I think that ultimately proved to be the difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, I just think they just didn't get a high enough volume of chances or a high enough volume of dangerous time on attack. We saw them, get some time on attack here and there, but it just seemed like so often if they shot it wide or there was a loose puck, Composure were on that quickly and they're moving that puck out. And I do like what Entourage did in a lot of the cases in their own zone was, getting that puck out of there quickly. But when they don't, it's almost like Composure is guaranteed a turnover. They'll send 2 guys down, sometimes even 3, to pressure a single puck carrier and cut off his passing lanes. And if you're a defenseman, you feel like you're on an island back there. And that's what Composure does so well in all 3 zones, is swarm the puck carrier, cut off his options.
Absolutely. And when we get ready for the second matchup here, to talk about, do you change strategies? What are the adjustments to make? For Composure, they had a tremendous game. I mean, they're not going to be happy about the 2 goals allowed. And again, we talked about the defensive record for both of these teams. But, for Composure heading into this game, third in terms of, where you want to be, a lower goals against average and goals against per game, right where you want to be. They're going to be pretty happy with that defensive effort. They might want it to be a little bit better. Perhaps disappointed with the offensive effort. Shekel, again, as you said, might have been a source of frustration for the fact that this game was that close and required such a late goal to win it. So I think when you look at their team, what does this lineup have to do? Probably not much. aside from
Yeah.
a couple of, slight tweaks to the game plan, a little bit better of execution. Whereas where you talk about the Entourage lineup, again, second best. They had that little bit of a heads up in terms of their defensive play heading into this, but ultimately the defense could only hold on for so long. Shekel could only hold on for so long, and I think we might be seeing a few more adjustments on their side. But again, you talk about a team like Entourage, they've had success. Again, they won the Caps Gaming tournament this past February. If there's a team that's going to be able to make those adjustments, it's going to be them. But what more do they have to do other than just simply saying, put goals, put pucks in the back of the net, score more goals?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say, very much harder to execute. I think it has to start with them switching up how they're going to try to get into the zone. Because as I said, Composure, we saw them try a couple times these, sort of dump store the sideboards, but then it didn't work. They went off sides, and then it seemed like they abandoned that. I think it was too small of a sample size, and maybe they're not 100% comfortable with it, but you gotta try something to try to take Composure out of their comfort zone, because Composure's just completely fine with forechecking, forcing you in the neutral zone. Okay, yeah, you want to try to exit our zone quickly. We're still one of the best trap teams. So yeah, I think Composure is doing everything kind of right now. The one thing adjustment-wise I'd say is don't get frustrated. I mean, it's not really an adjustment, but I like what they're doing, kind of shooting pucks from everywhere on Shekel. Keep doing that, because while they scored on those high chance opportunities where they looked for the space, I think it's still, you don't want to make Shekel too comfortable, because, well, he looks comfortable all the time and he's very good. But yeah, Entourage, they need something to establish more offense, and I think it just has to do with how they get that puck into the zone. Try a few more different things.
I think, we did start to see success on that second goal for Hendry, the one that we thought might send it to overtime to allow them to pick up a point in the standings. It was the slap pass attempt that actually ended up being on net and tested hard. You had to pay attention, otherwise it could have found its way in, but that did lead to the opportunities. So like you said, we've talked about it with Composure quite a bit, their ability, to dump the puck in, get the forecheck going. The dump and chase is, I don't want to say, it's not the strategy of which we'll never speak, but ultimately, it can pay off. It's just a matter of timing it correctly. So, Sin, the good news is we are ready to go for the second game. Are you sticking with that initial prediction for how you thought this was going to go down?
Definitely. And you know what? I do think Entourage can get the split here. I'm about 75-25. I really think Composure could light it up here and get the 2-0. But if Entourage, I mean, they're champs. They have something. And I think we're going to see everything that they got right here in this game.
I certainly hope so. Because again, the more entertaining the game, the better for me. As much as these teams care about their defensive track records, I think everyone wouldn't mind seeing a little 7-8 overtime final. Let's sign up for that. So again, Entourage at home in the black and blue. We're going to call it, it's more of a teal. And of course, Composure in the white. Composure taking game one by the score of 3-2. Going to pull off the double here. Gain their 14th victory of the season in just 16 games. We see Marco in possession over the blue line, able to find Nick. 2 goals in that last game. It's just a down low, recovered by Odie on the half wall. It's a little bit of trouble with Hendry. Nick back to help out his defenseman, still in possession here. Tries to find Tendy, and he does. But another great save by Shekel to start this game off.
Yeah, he's just been in perfect position, and we saw once again Composure. Once they start that cycle, it is very hard to move them off that puck. Entourage may be a bit passive, but you also don't want to let the middle of the ice open up either. Composure, they can hit you in so many different ways, as we're going to see Entourage go to the power play here.
Indeed, that is Mark going to the box. So a chance here for Entourage on the power play. Started off with a good defensive zone draw win for Jay Claus. Can he get one in the offensive zone? He can. Yet again, clean to George. And we'll see what Entourage look for here. Obviously, high quality is going to be the name of the game. Greg's in possession, looking for space. You see them slowly working their way back down low. Forced out back high by Hendry. Not by Hendry, excuse me, by Tendy. The opportunity on the wraparound there for Jay Claus. Tests Hart on the post. Composure's netminder able to stand tall.
Yeah, Entourage, they love those behind the net plays. It's very difficult for goalies to kind of predict if they're going to pass that out or go for the wrap, but so far in this one, Hart right where he needed to be.
Big defensive zone draw win, failure to clear, but ultimately recovered and sent all the way down by Marco. 45 seconds remain on the power play. Regs burst of speed through the neutral zone. Miscommunication with Fisher, though. A few more valuable seconds tick off the clock. 38 remain on that power play. Might be a little bit of frustration there for Regs, though, to really take advantage of the open space there. Not being able to make the most of it. And another big face-off win there for Nick. He's done a great job winning the majority of the draws here on this kill. Puck down into the Composure zone. Odie has it, and will look to lead the counterattack here. Takes a big hit from Fisher. Marco still in possession, loses it to George, and here comes Entourage on the counterattack. We're back to 5-on-5. Hendry not able to maintain, or Tendy not able to maintain possession again. Hendry in possession of it now. Finds Reg. Shot on is blocked. And now again, here comes Tendy. Dishes it over to Marco. Back to Mark. Odie's shot. Not able to get through. Now again, Hendry through the neutral zone. That battle with Odie. It's been the key matchup, at least that I've managed to pick up here. A constant battle down the left-hand side of the ice. Nick takes his time. Dishes it back to Mark. And again, Composure looking to get that counterattack going. Marco down low. Tendy the wraparound chance. Ends up on the far side of the crease. Shekel's able to find it and frees the puck with 9:03 remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, and I really like, I do like what Entourage is trying to do here. They've tried a couple more things, and I'm very glad that we saw Regs shoot that puck on net. Big overtime opportunity.
On the far post for Marco. Great feed from Tendy again. His Composure continue to make the most of these chances. Now again, back in possession here. Able to make the most of these chances. A quick dump and chase here off of the offensive zone draws. Hendry able to recover. Entourage take their time. They get it to Regs. Again, big burst of speed from the defenseman. They time the line well. Hendry for Jay Claus on the wraparound. Entourage find the back of the goal. Spectacularly done. Huge goal there for Entourage. They get the first of the game with 6:25 remaining.
Yeah, and that all started with a very, very smart play. I believe that was Fisher on the right wing side, passing the puck around the net. And since Entourage like to set up from back there anyway, it's a good, smart play.
All three forwards involved in the goal there. Jay Claus on the wraparound. The Shekel will cover this one. Again, as you mentioned, Fisher dishes it down low. Hendry able to find Jay Claus. The quick wraparound. All three forwards involved. Jay Claus, his 6th goal of this season. We have another key defensive zone draw for Entourage. Tendy always giving them trouble, though. Not able to come up with it on that attempt. Goal scorer in possession. Dishes it up to Fisher. Battles on with official Mark. And now again, it's Composure. Marco brings it down in the corner. Tries to send it back in front. Jay Claus is there again. Been saying his name a lot through this first period. And rightfully so. He has the difference maker on the board, but it's been spectacular defensively thus far. Composure not able to make the most of that rush. Entourage back in possession. Regs takes the hit to make the play, but Jay Claus bumped off by the other center and Nick. Opportunity in front. Don't know if that one saw Hart, but if it did, spectacular save. Entourage still in possession, but a rough turnover there from Hendry. Easy to intercept from Marco. Entourage, though, definitely getting a bit of momentum about them. Nick, the spin, trying to maintain possession. Slaps it off of a pass attempt from Jay Claus, and a huge save from Shekel with 32 to go.
Yeah, and that's where that aggression can really pay off, is you're looking for the bump, you're looking to separate man from puck, and it goes right to you, and you're able to get a shot off it. But Shekel, right place, right time.
Opportunity as a puck was thrown on. I think that hit Marco in the face. Doesn't go in. Chance here for Hendry. 5 seconds on the clock as this one will be sent down. Covered by Shekel, and that brings us to the end of the first period. So chances for both teams. You see the stats there. The big face-off advantage to Composure thus far. But Entourage have the difference maker with Jay Claus's goals. We're going to get another look at it.
Yeah, very, very good play. And as I said, that's a bit of something different. They're usually trying to carry it in, but they've wanted to set up behind the net. They're able to do so right there. He sneaks it 5-hole on the wraparound, but it all starts with Fisher just sending that puck around and their forwards racing down to grab it. And I think they need to keep trying stuff like that because they want to set up behind the net anyway. Why not try to dump it? Get bounces. You're carrying it. It's not working so far. Composure still getting the better of you. You know, just give it a shot. Only good things, I think, could happen at this point. You're down. Or no, sorry, you're up. You got to keep building on that lead.
A long way to go in this one. Jake Claus sends it down low. Quick pass around the back of the Composure goal. Again, the follow-up pass, and nobody there. So we'll see how Entourage are able to build upon this lead, if at all. Composure, of course, had the lead twice in the last game, only for Entourage to come back. There's the dump in from Mark. Two men give chase. Nick's able to come up with it, tries to go back to the point. Can't get it through the skates of Fisher as he takes the hit. Now Fisher sends up in the corner. Cleared out by Mark, but not all the way. Trouble at the line. Ultimately recovered by Tendy. Still trying to make a play of it, but Regs is able to survive. Holding it strong on the backhand. There's a bit of trouble there. You see both teams pretty close, within just a fortunate bounce of being able to get a high-quality scoring chance, but it just hasn't happened thus far. Hendry able to bring it in. Finds Fisher. Shot on just wide of the post. And again, another huge opportunity wide for Entourage. It's happened a couple of times through both games thus far. Perhaps a little bit snake-bitten. Maybe that's been the story of their season thus far. You see Odie brings it over the line, but not able to get the pass that he was looking for. 13:06 to go here in the second game of two between 5th place Entourage and 2nd place Composure. Sin, big face-off here for Jake Claus, perhaps needs to try and get the face-off numbers back in his favor, and he is able to do so.
Yeah, and that's what they need. They've been okay on possession. Composure still kind of outdoing them in that regard. Are down in the game, but if they keep this up and they keep attacking the way they are, they're definitely going to find a way to beat Shekel here. And again, you see the aggression coming out, forcing the issue, not allowing Entourage to feel comfortable back there.
Marco not able to maintain possession, though. That is the offside. We approach the halfway point of this period. And right now, Composure down by 1 after winning the first game. The goal from Jay Claus, the center of Entourage, who loses another draw there as Marco picks it up. A couple of quick passes. Now it's with Tendy. Shot on by Nick. And a big save again from Shekel. Back down behind the Entourage goal. Pressure still on from Composure. Here's Odie. Tries to get it in front. Scramble and fought for. Jay Claus has it. Dishes it up. Now the two wingers on the counterattack opportunity, and the space was there. Fisher dishes it in front. Jay Claus finds it and gets his second of the game.
The counterattack is working right there for Entourage. We're seeing Composure. They're turning that aggression up a notch, and with that comes a sacrifice. You're not going to have two defensemen back exactly where they want to be. Entourage capitalizes on that on the transition. And 2-0 in Composure, really on the ropes right now, despite having the statistical advantage throughout this game. As you said before we got started here, stats aren't everything, and right now Entourage passing the eye test.
What Tendy can do with the puck here. Not able to complete the pass. Composure, though, still in possession. Both goals for Entourage coming from the center. Jay Claus. Opportunity here for George. They get it down low. Quick pass back. Tests hard there, but off the side of the net. See if Entourage defensemen get a little bit more involved. Regs in possession. Somehow still maintaining it, fighting for a chance here for Fisher on the backhand. 2-0 develops out of nowhere, and Entourage take a 3-0 lead in this game.
Well, those are the adjustments we wanted to see. Their defensemen are getting more active. Kind of weird to see that after a 2-goal lead, but it seems like they're really feeling comfortable. They're flying right now, and this is a completely different team than we saw in Game 1 here.
Shot on, blocked down. Jay Claus had it in front for a moment. Center Nick is able to recover. Composure. We said we weren't going to make those puns. The opportunity here. Odie looking for space. Tess Shekel clips the post. A big opportunity that close away to making it a 2-goal game. Chance here for Fisher. Great puck protection. Draws the trip. And Composure, you know what? We got to say it. Not keeping their composure. That is a rough penalty to take right now. Entourage to the power play and a chance to perhaps put this game out of reach. 5th best power play percentage in the league, sitting at 25%.
Yeah, good clear right there, and Entourage got a chance to really put this game away right here. And you mentioned Composure sort of losing their composure a bit, and we saw that on the third goal. They had two forwards, Entourage did, below any defenseman. You know, Composure was trying to get that rush going the other way, trying to get some form of offense, and Entourage capitalized on it. And this, if anything, is just 2 minutes wasted for Entourage.
See what they're able to do here. The wraparound chance for J Claws doesn't go. Cleared down again. Composure have held on well. 84% on the penalty kill this season. So that's 9th in the league. Huge hit there from Tendy. We're going to have a Ryan Miller race for the puck. Still scrambled, still loose. Wide of the net. Mark able to dish it back to the point. We're back to even strength. Odie dishes in the front. Nick shot just wide. Another chance for Nick in front. And Composure are able to survive on the kill and get a goal back here in the late stages of the second period. Spectacular goal there. Nick has another one, his third of the night off the feed from Tendy.
And that is not what you wanted to see if you're Entourage. Maybe a bit too confident right there. Shekel coming out to play that puck and turns it over. They almost score off the initial chance, but then that leads to a couple one-timer chances, which they eventually bury. And you give a team like Composure a breath of life here, they can gather that momentum and really start to come back.
Close call for Fisher on the back end here, but final possession should be going to Composure. Marco in the corner has trouble on the board play from Regs. Chance here, one-timer just taken off the line, and a very fortunate puck pickup. Call it an invisible wall, call it what you will, but right now Entourage should be feeling lucky that it is still a 2-goal lead. That was an extremely close call there at the death.
Absolutely. Composure just firing on all cylinders there at the end, perhaps feeling like they've deserved a better fate than being down by 2 goals. Nonetheless, they're getting their chances now, and I mean, they're getting close. And Entourage, they got to feel a little bit hesitant right now. You've still got the 2-goal lead, but you need to settle down. This team can strike quickly. They can strike often. They're the leading scorers for a reason. Don't give them any space. You got to shut them out.
See what happens here down the stretch of the third period. First possession here to Composure. Odie stepping in. Tess Shekel stands tall. Nick the chance and another glove save by Shekel. Great job there by the Entourage netminder, standing tall, just maintaining proper positioning. And robs Nick on the glove save. Huge moment there. Another big draw win. This one won by J Claws. Again, he struggled at times. Space here. Opportunity for a 2-on-1. Fisher to Hendry. He buries it on the forehand. Entourage reinstate that 3-goal advantage. It is 4-1 defense to offense. And
yep, and that's that quick strike transition that we see, and that's Composure having to be very aggressive. This is why it was so important for Entourage to play with a lead this game. If you give Composure a lead, you know, they're right where they want to be. They could just continue that puck possession style of play. Right now, they're having to be a bit more aggressive. They can't afford to trap it up. They have to force the issue, and that just feeds Entourage's counterattack style play, and we're seeing it right here. 4-1. What a play.
Fisher gets his second goal of this game. Now up to 12 on the season through 16 games. Of course, this 16th game not yet done. So we'll see what that total may end up being. He's in possession here. Tries to feed it in front behind J Claws, though. Long road back for Composure at this point. This Marco able to get it in front for Nick. Good pressure there. Helped by J Claws again. Done well defensively. This one all the way back down to the Composure zone. Recovered by Odie. Not able to get the pass up to Tendy, though. This one, unfortunately, off the stick of Hendry, but recovered, still fought on for. Here's Fisher. Not able to survive the pressure. Right now, Entourage will take this neutral zone game. These scrambles for the puck. Shot on would have been wide. Nearly deflected it off the stick of George there. And again, now recovered by Mark. Couple of quick passes. Composure looking to make something happen, but they can't. Fisher fighting with Mark, fighting with Nick, I should say, bumped off the puck. But again, Entourage right now, you'll take this precious time ticking off the clock.
Yeah, and they're doing a really good job of taking Composure out of the game. They're neutralizing their aggression and not letting them possess the puck, and that's exactly what they need to do.
Chance here on a counterattack from Composure, but again, quickly snuffed out. Entourage doing a great job of protecting the blue line. Another back in on the attack here. That will would have been offside if it was touched, despite the lack of a prompt there. So great heads-up awareness from Hendry. Opportunity now again. The pass back doesn't go. Odie able to win this one back, but has to wait. Tendy was still down in the offensive zone. So we approach the halfway point here of this period. Puck brought all the way back down to the Entourage zone. They're going to force the pressure and try to open up space. Some people call that poor sportsmanship. I say it's smart at this stage of the game. You can't let Composure turtle up. You got to force the issue. Opportunity for Mark. Gets it in front. Shot. Chance. Goes just wide of Shekel. Nobody on Composure able to pull the trigger there on two really high-quality opportunities. And again, Mark able to find Marco. He gets decked by Regs. Insult to injury. Injury to insult, perhaps. So Regs back in possession here. The clock slowly ticking down. There's the forecheck, but a quick out to Fisher. Not able to get past Mark. Opportunity here for Marco. Finds Mark in front. Not able to pull the trigger on the shot, as Shekel will play it out to keep the clock ticking. Dangerous move there. Shot on. Rebound. Another blocker save by Shekelson. Dangerous move, but if he can make the follow-up saves, is it all that dangerous?
I guess not. And he's maybe a little bit of style points. Maybe he's looking for some style points back there in the crease, just trying to keep that clock ticking, as you said. And where is this aggression coming from Entourage? They're standing up in the neutral zone, going for these big hits they simply were not going for. They are feeling it right now and throwing Composure's game right back at them, and they have Composure reeling right now.
Tendy takes the huge hit. Under 3 minutes to go. Shot on and a goal. Marco is able to find some open space inside the face-off circle. Composure back to within 2, but is it too little too late?
I don't think it's ever too little too late with a team like Composure, but what Entourage has to do here is continue to try to shut them down. You're not, that goal might be a bit expected from a team as offensively gifted as Composure here, but now, as if you're Entourage, you really don't want to give up an easy one.
Fisher with a bit of space finds J-Claws. Big save by Hart. Odie leading the counter attack. Composure running out of time. Bit of space here again, though. Odie tries to find the pass in front, can't do it. Hendry in possession. Sauces it down into the corner. Fisher recovers. Bit of space, tried to find Hendry, couldn't do it. J-Claws back in possession. The slap shot from point-blank range is denied by Hart. And again, Entourage get the puck back on a breakout attempt. Fisher has it. Down low to Hendry. Still battling for it. Hendry shot denied by Hart. May have hit the side of the net, side of the goal. Call it what you will. 30 seconds left. I think it might be too little, too late for Composure here. Entourage again win it back. And very impressively have found a way to come back from that first game loss. And take this one in very, very impressive fashion.
Yeah, it's wow.
Chance here from Nick. Can't get the shot onto the late chance there for Mark. Not able to get the shot through, and that will do it. Entourage able to hold on and take this one again convincingly, earning themselves a 1-1 split of the points. So we talked about a rivalry between these two teams. I think we saw that on display. No need to watch replays. Get right back to the action, no matter what that does to your broadcasters, which, hey, I get it, heat of the moment, but what are you going to do? Regardless, again, a very impressive performance from Entourage, J-Claws in particular, with the 2 goals. Fisher, though, with 2 goals as well. So again, Entourage, they struggled a little bit offensively, perhaps, but they did a great job in that game, finding their offensive touch, and it paid off, again, to earn that 1-1 split.
Yeah, and I think if Entourage wants to be a puck possession style team, they have the capability to do so. We saw that in about the last 10 minutes or so of the third period, where Entourage, they would force the turnovers in the neutral zone, and they would circle back into the offensive zone, draw in Composure, and Composure's aggressiveness works great in the offensive zone, but not when you have to chase someone. You have to catch someone flat-footed. And what Entourage was doing was taking the time to build up speed and draw in Composure, get some more space, and then be able to kind of get it through the neutral zone. And then we saw at the end, they started area saucing it to the corner, dumping it to the corner, figuring they could have someone to beat the defenseman there, since they had to be so aggressive. And Entourage just showed a completely different side of them in that game that we simply didn't see in game one. And again, I think a big part of it has to do with them getting that first goal and not having to chase the game.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, you talk about it with Entourage, the ability, I'd say mainly with Hendry and Fisher on the wings, the burst of speed, the agility, the job in puck protection, drawing a couple of calls throughout those two games. It really did pay off. And that's an extremely tough adjustment to make, especially when you talk about Mark and Odie on the other side with how much they like to get involved offensively. That's not questioning their defensive abilities whatsoever. But absolutely, I mean, that all plays a factor. And like you said, during the pregame while we were building up to this, you can have a game plan. You can look at the numbers and say, okay, here's how the game is likely to go. But we saw two very different games play out that I don't think either of them necessarily went according to what you might have thought we would have seen prior to the two games playing out. But when we talk about the Entourage lineup, because of course we are done following them, but we will be following Composure into their two-game series against BBB in the aftermath of this. But with Entourage, again, very impressive, I would say, just as a team performance. It is tough to say, necessarily that, okay, is Shekel the first star for this team, because he was spectacular in goal for the two teams. But the front three for Entourage, again, and you look at it, I mean, out of all the goals they scored, only one from a non-forward for Entourage in that series. I mean, extremely well done. And by my count here, I mean, I think all but one or two of the goals were, involving just the three forwards. The chemistry that they had, the quick puck movement was fully on display, especially in that second game.
Yeah, they have a very deliberate style of play, and while you face a team like Composure, as we saw in game one, if you kind of are forced out of that early on, it can be hard to get back. But if you can establish your game and play it to the level that you can play it, we saw the results. Hendry, Jake Laws, Fisher were absolutely outstanding, and their transition game was on point. And I mean, wow, it's just such a contrast between the first two games, but that's what can happen at this high level. I mean, one team may have the advantage, then the other team they get that, mentality in their head that they're going to battle back in. Well, Entourage did just that, and that was a very convincing win there in that second game.
Absolutely. So congrats to Entourage for a strong performance, again, earning a 1-1 split. We will be back after a very brief intermission, again, covering Composure as they take on BBB. We'll see how they bounce back after what has to be a frustrating loss. And we are back. See, I told you, a brief intermission. Not a big deal, right? Thank you for sticking with us. We greatly appreciate it. Again, coming off the back of a quick home-and-home series between Composure and Entourage, where they took home a 1-1 split. Composure now up to 13-3 on the season, good for 26 points in the standings, as they will be taking on the BBB. Both of these teams tied for second with 24 points heading in to tonight's series. BBB and this, as much as Entourage, the rivalry between these three teams very much on display. Of course, we've talked about the Composure lineup a lot. Sin, what stands out about the BBB lineup?
Well, I think, they're very kind of momentum-driven team. They can sometimes seem to start slow, which against a team like Composure could be a bit detrimental, but they're also one of the best with their come-from-behind victories. So, as I said, when they start to get that momentum and they start to take control of the game, they can really throw Composure for a loop.
I can't help but disagree on that. I mean, again, we saw with Composure just like the tale of two games that was on display there. With that first game, they showed that ability to bounce back, not really being phased by a goal. That second game, though, it really did get away from them. So, again, we're going to be intrigued. I'm speaking for both of us here, but, certainly going to be intrigued to see how this plays out, because what version of this Composure team are we going to see? And with these top teams, you do expect that level of, being able to, and again, I hate to make the pun, but God, they picked the worst team name to be able to keep your composure and say, okay, let's keep going. Let's, live up to our namesake here and do what we have to do to make the most of this and still walk away with, they're going to hope for a 3-1 night by the time it's all said and done. So again, getting a look at the Composure lineup yet again, as we are just about getting ready to get things going. Our producer is pulling his hair out. He's trying to make the best of it, but don't worry, we love you anyway. These things happen. But again, a look at the Composure lineup at this point. And again, in terms of adjustments that they need to make, Sin, anything in particular, or is it just like, okay, let's get back to our game plan? Because, you look at the scoring through that first game, for example, where Tendy and Nick, they have had really strong nights thus far. Marco as well has gotten on the score sheet. The defense, of course, always gets involved. Hart, couple of tough breaks in that last series against Entourage. But what's the key for them to turn it around here?
Well, I just think they need to be a bit more, how do I say this? I guess deliberate. I mean, there's times where they were so sure, let's be aggressive right now, let's be aggressive in this situation. Then when faced with the same situation before, and next time, they kind of pulled back and they seemed a bit unsure of what they wanted to do. So maybe, communication was a bit faulty in that last game, especially. But, when they're on their game, they're on their game. But we didn't see them, the second game just continued to slip away from them. And while they had, the chance to come back, and we saw those, those times where they're able to get set up, I mean, they seem to get a bit tilted there when they were playing from behind. So if they go behind in this game and can't kind of dictate the pace of it, they may be in trouble. But I just like to see, a bit more kind of, communication and purpose from them.
Absolutely. And I think that is probably what we are likely to see. We talked about, the big thing with them, their versatility heading into these two series tonight. Unfortunately, it didn't necessarily pay off, but you talk about Entourage, it's another team that has a similar level of versatility. We'll see what BBB is able to do, because, again, you can sit here and talk about BBB, and we'll get a look at their lineup here as well. But, for BBB, a top team in the past, certainly. Unfortunately, with BBB, this is really the start of a brutal second half schedule. You want to talk about versatility. You want to talk about the ability to adapt. The final few matchups down the stretch for BBB in this regular season, all against current playoff teams. So in terms of picking up what you would expect to be the easier points on the schedule, although one would argue there aren't too many easy teams to beat in the NACL thus far. But yeah, I mean, it's a very tough schedule from here, and you're coming up against a very difficult opponent, again, who you were tied with in the standings heading into tonight. Sin, who stands out for you, though, amongst this lineup, and really what we're going to be able to do, or really kind of look for here for BBB when it comes to, again, the scoring, the defense, perhaps special teams? What are you thinking?
Well, I think all of them are very good, but last time we were able to cover this team, K-Cut was a magician with that puck sometimes, and we'll see how he's able to do it, if he's able to weave through the aggression in the neutral zone from Composure. But yeah, if they're able to start, dictating the pace, they're going to be in a very good position. Interesting thing to note there, Paralyzer, the goaltender for BBB, used to actually play it for Composure, so maybe a little bit of a personal motivation there for him to get some revenge against his former team, pass them in the standings, and feel a bit vindicated in his decision to start playing with BBB here. But this is going to be a tremendous matchup.
Could indeed be the case. So let's go ahead and get a look at the center matchup again. Nick, one of the focal points for Composure thus far, doing a great job. Of course, we don't have his updated stats on screen. We will have those for you, though, as we continue along here. But Sidful, off to a very impressive start, 34 points through his first 16 games.
Yeah, and him with Bones and Jemima on his wing, I mean, it gives him, the flexibility to kind of be a bit more defensive with how good puck control and speed Bones and Jemima are on the sides. I mean, when they start to work that puck down low, I mean, Sitful can kind of just find himself in open spots to try to, put some shots on net, but he is no slouch when it comes to passing either. Great vision. And of course, on the face-off side of things, 57.7% He's kind of everything that you'd want in a center.
Absolutely. And of course, that center matchup is always so interesting. And we saw it from Nick, the ability to be that strong two-way presence that his team really needed him to be, crucial for any team to have success at a level like this. Let's get a look at the winger matchup as well. Of course, you'd be very familiar with Marco and Tendy thus far. But going up against Bones and Jemima, again, two very impressive point totals thus far.
Yeah, and look out for them, because if they are able to start working the puck down low, as I alluded to before, I mean, we saw them almost chew up the last, 5 or so minutes of a game clock last time we covered these guys. It was just absolutely impressive. They're tenacious, I will say. Tenacious down low, just tenacious all over the ice. Great on the penalty kill, great on the counterattack. And, they're going to have their work cut out for them, our Mark and Odie back there. But yeah, the winger matchup, I mean, they love to score, both of these guys. I mean, we could see a wide open game.
Could absolutely indeed. And again, that's the promise that you want, right? As interesting as the defensive battles can be, and we saw more of a defensive battle in that first game that we covered here for Composure, despite the 3-2 final. I think, a lot of people do prefer, aside from the goaltenders, to see those high scoring matchups, and perhaps the defensemen as well. Getting to that matchup again, Mark and Odie, two high scoring defensemen. But on the other side, we sung this man's praises, rightfully so. But Desi and K-Cut, two top-notch offensive defensemen, and that's why I'm kind of hoping to see a very entertaining offensive battle here, because all four of these guys have the ability to take over a game.
Definitely. And yeah, you mentioned it. We saw it from K-Cut. We talked about Odie and, Mark especially, and we saw Odie, start to really lead the rush sometimes, but with K-Cut, it's just more than that. He can create so much on his own that he's much more than just a puck mover. And that's not to take anything away from Desi. I mean, he's not bad at all, producing offense himself. Maybe sometimes a bit too hesitant to shoot the puck, but he's great on the shutdown. He can create that offense himself. I think this is probably one of the better defensive pairings in the NACL, Desi and K-Cut.
Absolutely. And that brings us, of course, to the goaltending matchup. These two guys, I mean, again, the experience is there, of course, and we talked about Perry a lot on the left-hand side, of course, one of the more experienced goaltenders around. Obviously, as much as some people, for entertainment value, might be hoping for the high-scoring affairs, I think these two are going to have something to say about it. Again, heading into tonight, 8 shutouts combined between the two, which is stunning.
Yeah, stunning to say the least. I mean, both of them can step up in huge times. Both of them have the capability to make some saves. Hart probably didn't have the game that he wanted last time, but he was also dealing with a lot of, kind of counterattacks, fast plays, and some outnumbered situations down low. So look for him to have a bounce back game. And again, Paralyzer, I think we're going to see him with a bit of extra mojo here going up against his former team.
I certainly hope so. There's nothing like a little bit of animosity between two teams. I think it's a little bit extra when it's animosity. Perhaps not animosity, but again, former teammates going head to head. Always wanted to see who can get the better of that matchup. So again, we are just about ready to go here. Excited to see how this plays out. Again, two of the top teams in the league thus far, two teams where at the beginning of the season you say, yeah, they're probably going to be a playoff team at the very least, and that is certainly appearing to be the case. But as we talked about BBB, it's a very tough schedule ahead. We need to see how this plays out. So, Sin, prediction-wise, again, we kind of talked about it. Special teams, how big of a factor could that be? What stands out for you here? What's your prediction?
What stands out for me is BBB just seems supremely confident. When we covered them last time, they were not afraid to bring the trash talk. They start bouncing on their opponents if they're up by a lot, and they're not afraid to eat that too if it goes wrong in the next game. And that could be good if you have that kind of confidence and swagger against what we saw from Composure last game. They kind of started to be unsure of themselves. The mental battle could be won by BBB here, so I'm predicting at least a split and a chance, I think, for BBB to get the 2-0. That being said, Composure is a fierce opponent.
Absolutely. So very excited to see how this goes down. Again, the first game of 2 between BBB and Composure. Again, Composure off the back of a 1-1 split against Entourage. We're going to see how they are able to bounce back after, a less than satisfactory performance, I'm sure they'd say. Team of their caliber not going to be happy about dropping points. So we will see how this goes. All in all, the connection looks good, as you would always hope it would. And we'll see how this plays out. It's worth checking the connection at least 4 times over, because you never know when there are going to be random drops in.
Yeah, anything less than 4 times, it's actually bad luck, I've heard. You never want to see that packet loss pop up right before puck drop. But it looks like we actually have a sort of a disconnect. So apparently that wasn't enough times to check the connection.
Either a disconnect, or perhaps somebody had a ping over 25, which heavens forbid, as I know Sin can attest to sometimes playing on those West Coast servers. Our good pal and fellow streamer Deke Slayer, normally accustomed to playing on 70 plus, despite fantastic internet and a setup. So, just one of those things on occasion that you have to deal with. So just a tease at what the action could be. We're going to show you the teams on the ice, but you don't get to see them play.
Not yet.
Just yet. You got to wait for that. You'll be lucky if we don't make you pay for it. Drop a follow. That can be your payment. If you have not already dropped us a follow, of course. So again, another look at the Composure lineup here. Of course, if you caught our first series, you will be familiar with this lineup. Marco, Nick, and Tendy up top. And again, Sin, a look at the kind of updated numbers here through the first 16 games. I mean, very impressive across the board. Marco, 22 goals. Nick, 22 goals. Tendy, 23 goals.
Yeah.
Every single member of that offensive setup is able to get the job done there. Again, thankful to have the updated goals and assist numbers right now to be able to work with. But I think that's the key, right? There's no main man for that front three. They can all get it done.
Definitely. And I mean, we definitely saw that. We saw them not afraid to shoot from any location, and all of them like to shoot, and that's good. Sometimes you can overpass, and you definitely don't want to overpass against a team as good as BBB, who can have that sort of good possession style right back in your face. So yeah, as you said, all 3 forwards there from Composure able to put the puck in the net, and their defenseman back there, same kind of thing, although more prone to the assists and such. But yeah, just a very solid team. And on the flip side, BBB, they kind of have more of a playmaker to sniper sort of setup, but at the same time, stats may not show it, but any of those guys can put the puck in the net, and they're supremely skilled.
Absolutely. I mean, again, that's the good thing about this matchup in terms of offense. You look at it, Tendy was in the lead in terms of total points throughout this league, but then you look on the flip side with that BBB lineup, and you had Bones tied for 4th, Sipfel tied for 8th, and Jemima in sole possession of 6th. So very high scoring offenses. Like we said, the defense, they all like to get involved. K-Cut tied for 2nd in goals amongst defensemen heading into this series as well. So it is in theory a goaltender's nightmare when you look at 2 offenses of this caliber going head to head. The league's top 2 offenses, but again, also in the top ranks for defense. Again, BBB 6th fewest goals against heading into tonight's matchups, and again, Composure, I do believe 3rd in that category as well. So high-powered offenses, lockdown defenses, going head-to-head. Something's got to give. Yeah, and certainly intrigued to see how this is going to play out here. Hopefully in just a matter of moments, waiting for the 2 teams to get back into it. And it looks like we are on the verge of this game hopefully starting. We won't jinx it, of course. We wouldn't want to do that. Just because the teams are on the ice doesn't mean there's not going to be a false start. It can happen. Maybe
the last time
out of nowhere.
The last time, I guess, a game crashed, it was Paralyzer's game crashing. So it wasn't a disconnect, wasn't a server issue. I know that's been on a lot of people's minds since the hiccups last night with the EA server issues, but everything looks like it's working smoothly. Just a game crash, just a subtle complete meltdown for the game itself. Servers are good now.
Crash. Anything can happen. It's not the servers this time, but hopefully what it is this time is the first game between BBB and Composure. Again, the first of 2 in this home and home series. Let's get a look at that latency. It's at a 23. Are we going for the 2-time? We're not going for the 2-time. We're going for the 1-time. Perhaps supreme confidence in the connection.
Connection looks solid. We are ready to go. And BBB, I want to see them get off to a quick start. I want to see them try to put Composure on the ropes. And another thing, stay out of the box. They take the 4th most penalties in the league. And if Composure keeps going on the power play, they're going to start to take over a game.
Here we go in the early stages. Composure in the white and on the rush here. Opportunity, the shot goes wide for Nick. Good chance early on. BBB in possession here in the black. A quick turnover, now it's Tendy. Again, another opportunity. Again, Odie trying to work his way into the zone, not able to do so. Here comes Bones on the counterattack, feeds Jemima. Normally it's the other way around, but this time, you know, crazy exceptions. It's a crazy world we live in. Here's Nick down the wing, cut and move. Not able to find the space. Des did the quick passing, and some very quick passing on display for BBB, but Odie stands strong defensively. This one goes all the way back into the Composure zone. 4 minutes gone by here. Quick dump attempt here. Composure going to get that one uncontested for the moment. Tendy has a little bit of trouble picking it up. Not able to get a shot off. And now again, BBB on the counterattack. Jemima over the line. Sends it down low. Bones is there. Quickly back to the point. Shot on. Deflection bid. Big save from Hart. No secondary opportunity as Composure able to regain possession. Quick passing there with Marco as he gets over the line. Finds Odie. Shot opportunity doesn't go through. Nick back in possession. Ping pong ball there. Just goes wide of Paralyzer. A quick threatening opportunity. Shot on. Rebound attempt is there. Being waved off. Potentially kicked in by Sitful. Don't think this one's going to count the initial shot on there. And indeed, it is going to be Sitful who kicks that one in. And this one's immediately waved off.
Yeah, there was a bit of contact. I'm not sure if it was the interference or the kick, but either way, still a 0-0 game. That's got to be a tough one to swallow there for BBB.
As we get another quick face-off here in the early stages. So he was able to get the advantage on the draw there. We saw a bit of back-and-forth action for Nick in terms of a bit of a closer matchup and a dominant performance on the draws. Huge hit there from Marco. But BBB able to maintain possession. They drop it back. Desi has it. Quick bit of passing there. They love that right to left lateral passing to find Bones to try and generate space. Doesn't pay off there. But there is going to be a trip. Composure going to the power play. Didn't see who's going to the box here.
It's K-Cut.
It is K-Cut. Talked about BBB potentially getting in the penalty trouble. There's an example. But Siffel's able to win the draw. It's it back for Desi, who is able to clear, but not all the way down. Mark able to get the interception and quickly lead the counterattack. Great poke check, though, by Jemima to get that one away. Composure will look to regroup here. We approach the halfway point of the period and of this man advantage. Good bit of space there on the shake. Marco has it down in the corner. Around the back of the goal, now back again to the point. Mark has possession again. They're looking for that one play, looking for the high caliber chance instead of throwing shots on like we normally see. Bones is able to clear that one. One more rush attempt here for Composure before we are back to 5-on-5. Brutal turnover there, unfortunately. Desi has it. And BBB able to survive that kill. Good chance again here. The battle in the neutral zone. Sent down now. Recovered by K-Cut. Still looking for the opening goal of this game. Sitful drops it back. The neutral zone traps in. Going to say definitely a factor. We see the dump and chase attempt here. And an opportunity for Desi to hold that one in. Do you expect we'll see more of the dump and chase here as we continue on?
I think so. They haven't had too much luck kind of carrying it through. And Composure not seeming as aggressive as they had been right there, as we see an unfortunate icing. Oh, yes.
Waved off by the cover of Hart. So a huge opportunity here for BBB to take advantage of that when Composure looked like they may have had the opportunity. Sitful on the draw. And he's able to win that one clean, held in by K-Cut. Again, back down low. Sitful in possession. Dishes it back to the point. Slap shot doesn't go through. Covered around the back of the net again. Bones. That low cycle not paying off. Bones took a big hit there. Chance now on the counterattack. K-Cut strips Nick of the puck, now in possession. Tries to find Jemima on the right-hand side. Again, miscommunication. As Sim, we talked about it, we might see a neutral zone battle rather than the offensive the offensive head-to-head matchup, and so far that's proving to be the case.
Yeah, and what Composure likes to do, they love to pressure those defensemen, and K-Cut, who likes to possess the puck and kind of buy some time, may not have the luxury to do that this game, and you saw right there, kind of tried to force a pass through that just simply wasn't available.
Sitful doing a great job on the draws. Again, 57% thus far this season. You want another one. BBB unable to turn it into any offense. Composure back in possession. Tendy not able to hold on to it. Great job by Desi and K-Cut for BBB. Desi tries to find Sitful, but again, it's stripped away. Looking for the opening goal. We approach the final minute of play. Again, it'll be a fast minute. Self-sauce here from Jemima. Sends it down low. Recovered, thrown in front. Loose puck covered by Hart. With 25 seconds remaining.
And BBB loves those kind of plays. They love kind of just throwing the puck towards the net. Doesn't even have to be a shot on net. Just kind of sauce it to the net and try to bang away with it, looking for those rebounds. And so far, they haven't capitalized on it, but a couple of heart-stopping moments.
Opportunity here. Late chance. Tendy not able to make the play. The big sauce to Jemima. Low on time. 1 second. No shot before the buzzer. So again, two high-powered offenses, but equally good defensive teams. So I think a particular number stands out for you there.
Yeah, Composure without a single registered shot. They were great in the neutral zone, but they weren't able to establish anything. And I think this is an adjustment. They were a bit too aggressive against Entourage when they were chasing the game. And maybe they're thinking, let's go back to a comfort zone. Let's trap it up a bit. And on the one hand, it's doing a good job of limiting BBB through the neutral zone and not allowing them to really gain a clean entry. But they haven't established anything of their own offensively. So they're going to have to find some sort of a balance here in the second period and be able to generate something and start to test Paralyzer.
See whether or not they are able to do that. Second period underway. Looking draw one by Composure, but quickly turned back over. Fall Composure through the first two games of the night against Entourage, a 1-1 split there. Now up to 13-3 on the season. They were tied with BBB heading into the night. Tendy the opportunity on the near post. Thrown back in front. All the way back to the point. Mark not able to get a shot off. Odie has it. Dangerous territory. Shot on. Rebound attempt for Tendy. Still doesn't go. There you go, Sin. Testing Perry early on in this second period. A couple of close calls. Here's K-Cut to the neutral zone. Has trouble against Marco. An offside. Tendy jumped the gun. 3 minutes gone, but a much better start for Composure.
Yeah, and there's K-Cut trying to work his magic, get a clean zone entry, but there was Composure doing what they do best, collapsing on the puck carrier, cutting off the angles, and forcing them into a turnover. That almost created a bad odd man the other way.
Another offside there. Composure unable to hold the line. See how this face-off goes again. Nick, strong performance for the most part, but BBB dominating the draws right now. Now up 8-2. Sitful, one of the top centermen in the league. And you can see why. Miscommunication there. This one all the way back to the BBB zone.
And we're seeing just how good he is. We saw Nick almost seem to dominate at times against Entourage, and Sitful getting the better of him thus far just shows how strong he is in the dot.
Desi having trouble with Marco down in the corner. BBB survived the scare. K-Cut looking to lead the way. Draws the trip from behind. And BBB will go to the power play. It's going to be Tendy to the box, risking it there, skating full speed ahead despite the full reach. Gotta love that strategy and how present that is, but regardless of opinions on that, BBB to the power play, and a big chance to snatch away here the first goal of this game, despite the better start to the period for Composure, as that one is sent down. First minute already gone. Power play is just a brief moment. The opportunity here on the man advantage. K-Cut dishes it back to Desi. Again, now back down low. See the hard collapse here from Composure. K-Cut again. Right now, Composure doing a great job eliminating them. The shot! Bones not able to find the space. Excellently played by Hart. Took that straight to the chest.
Definitely, and another good play. I liked what Mark was doing there. He was really aware of the switches that BBB was trying to do between the guys on the right-hand side, and he jumped up at the right times to limit them. And the one shot that BBB was able to get is when they switched to the left-hand side of the ice. So a good adjustment by them, but very good defense by Mark on that play.
Back to even strength. Composure survive. BBB back on the attack. Bones sauces in front. Loose puck. Still ultimately recovered by Composure. Nick circles back. Hands it off to Odie for a little bit of safety. Odie able to gain the zone. Bit of space. Shot deflects wide. And again recovered. One-timer and a big glove save. Perry flashing the leather. Putting on a bit of a show there. And again keeping this stalemate going.
Composure starting to find a bit more offense, and they're starting to throw pucks on from maybe places they may not want to, but that's what it's going to take. That's how they're going to get started off here. Maybe look for some rebounds and bounces.
Sipfel wins another draw. Can they turn it into offense? Bones has trouble. Regained it only to lose it again. Well done by Desi to win it there along the red line. Now again, Composure looking to gain the zone. Tendy has it, loses it, kicked away, wraparound bid. Perry able to stand strong. And a secondary chance. Nick on the backhand, but smothered by Perry. 8:09 remaining here in the second period between these two teams. First game of two. Again, battle of two of the top teams in the NACL this season. Rare face-off win for Composure. Mark, slap shot, deflects wide. Great block by K-Cut. Now here's Bones. Dishes it off to Jemima on the counterattack. Bit of speed here. Bones back to the point. Desi, shot blocked away. Excellently done by Odie and Nick, the center, to help cover. And we talked about it. Both of these centers so defensively responsible. It's on display there again. Nick having a bit of trouble. Bones bumps him off the puck. Here comes Jemima between the legs. Move for space. Finds Sipfel. Tried to go back to Jemima. The pass. Not able to get there. BBB looking for that first goal. 5 minutes left in the second. Opportunity here. Sipfel, the one-timer, blocked away. Sipfel shot denied by Hart. Puck still loose. Nick dishes it back to Mark. We see a counterattack here. Mark checks back. Didn't like the angle. A little bit of trouble. Odie has it now. Not able to find Nick. Bones on the intercept. Composure back in possession, but offside. 3:30 remains. Again, still deadlocked. No goals in this contest thus far.
Yeah, and it's really starting to go in the favor of BBB once again. Composure looked like they were kind of battling back here in the beginning of this period, but BBB taking over once again. Composure just really not able to gain the zone. Great forecheck here to force the issue, but
not able to make the most of it. Composure back in possession. Marco, the one-timer from Tendy. They're just trying to catch Perry off guard. Doesn't go through. Odie shot deflects wide. Desi has trouble and loses it to Tendy. Not able to get the pass off. Approaching the final minute here. Sipfel in possession. The big spin to try and maintain. Puck's dumped in and recovered. Marco has a bit of trouble. Nick has it. Brutal turnover from Nick. Desi shot. I believe there was a blocker save from Hart. May have deflected wide. Final 8 seconds here. Can Composure get something? Perhaps now BBB in possession. The pass off the skates of Marco and Sin. It's a rarity. But we go to the third period still without a goal. Again, we talked about it. Two of the, more prolific offenses in the NACL. Right now, it's a stalemate.
Yeah, I mean, the first and second scoring teams, and they're 0-0 after 2 periods. I mean, that is not something I would have predicted at the beginning of this matchup, but I think it's just going to show you how both teams are maybe not intimidated by the other team's offensive capabilities, but being very careful and not allowing them to really get what they want to get. That being said, I do feel like BBB has gotten the majority of the better chances, but Composure, they still have that quick strike ability. As we saw there at the end, when they start get that aggression going, forcing the defensemen, Desi and K-Cut, to make those quicker decisions than they want to make, that's when they can really start to generate that offensive pressure.
Will we find a breakthrough? Marco in possession, somehow not offside as Nick has it. In the low cycle for Composure, dishes it back to the point. A little bit of trouble there, the pressure. It's from Jemima on his off wing. Marco, the intercept, shot on, save, and covered by Perry. So again, an early shot in the beginning stages of a period for Composure. Paralyzer thus far standing tall. And a 12-4 record for him at this stage. In possession, Odie's shot deflects wide. A little bit of trouble here for Jemima. Excellently done to maintain possession. Bones tries to find Sipfel, can't do it. Again, the neutral zone battle. Ever-present opportunity here. Jemima has it, bit of space, shot on. Straight to the chest of Hart. So both goaltenders making the easy saves that you expect them to make without any trouble.
Yeah, and both of these teams just kind of showcasing how good they are defensively. They may be, league leaders offensively, but they are no slouches when it comes to protecting their net, and they're doing a good job right there. In that case, Jemima may have been able to kind of float a saucer there to try to hit the back door for Sitful cutting in, but, maybe just didn't see it in time or didn't want to risk it, being a turnover or bouncing back the other way.
Big hit there from Odie, prevents the offensive zone entry, but BBB still in possession. There's the dump in, but that is going to deflect all the way out over the glass. Behind Hart, going to lead to another face-off. Again, the first game of 2 between these two, the high-powered offenses. Really just neutralizing one another right now. BBB, the huge advantage in physical play thus far. Perhaps a little bit surprising, but then again, possession seemingly even at this point. Tough call as the puck played out. Jemima back in possession, but again, the trap game present from both teams. Jemima able to find Sipfel. Drops it back for K-Cut. Pinches down along the half wall. K-Cut shot blocked. Sipfel recovers. Still in possession despite the pressure. Loses it on the double team. Excellently done by Tendy. He'll send it back behind his own goal. Composure look to regroup. Controlled breakout here. Marco. Spin to protect. Loses it back to K-Cut. Tendy battling. Mark battling. But BBB come up with it. Bones over the line. Slap shot. Looked for the rebound. Desi was pinching in, but a good save by Hart. That's his best of the game thus far. The opportunity for Composure on the counterattack. Nothing comes to fruition. K-Cut back in possession for BBB. Off the skates, but it may have helped. Jemima's going to win the race. Not able to get the pass going around the back. Sipfel has it. Shot thrown on. Takes a big hit for that. Hart was able to make the save. And now again, perhaps a bit of space here for Composure. Marco along the half wall. Tosses it around the back. Again, Marco down low. Back to the point. It's Odie. Pinches in. Has it right where he wants it. Shot short side. Never finds its way to Paralyzer. 7.5 to go. K-Cut back in possession. And again, now Jemima along the wall. Gets it over. Bones finds Sitful in front. And Sin, we finally have our breakthrough. Sitful buries it his 15th of the year, if I'm not mistaken. BBB grabbed the lead.
Yeah, and that was those lateral passes that you alluded to earlier on in this game. BBB loves these back and forth sort of passes, and it worked through the neutral zone to create the space. And then they have almost a bit of an odd man there as they go from, to the right, back to the left, and then back to the right again. Buried just like that. Not much you can do as a goaltender in that situation. Brilliant passing display by BBB.
Tough break for Hart there. Again, Sitful. The assist from Bones and Jemima, the 3 forwards involved. Excellently done. BBB grabbed the lead. Composure. Let's see where their mindset is right now. What they look to do here in the final 6 minutes of play. Now in need of a goal. Marco the chance. Can't get the shot on net. Here comes the counterattack from the front 3. BBB, a little bit of trouble there. Odie, though, able to get it back. Nick over the line. Finds Marco around the back. Odie's there. Down low again. One-timer in front for Nick. The chance for Marco, but a stumble prevents him from pulling the trigger. Hits the post and still clips all the way around the back of the net. Marco has it again. Composure, a good punch back here, but is it enough? Can they land that heavy shot? Tie this game back up. Sent down. Picked up clean by Bones. Opportunity. Snipe and a glove save by Hart. Robbing Bones of what might have been the goal to seal the deal. Excellent clear out. What a save. Show it to him and take it away. Hart with the glove save. Bones has got to be frustrated by that one.
Yeah, the lane was there, and I'm sure he didn't expect, I believe that is Odie, to kind of drift a bit too far to the right-hand side on our, or the left-hand side on our screen, and he had the pass available to Sitful there for a split second, but he was already in the shooting animation. But I want to rewind just a bit. K-Cut dumped the puck out, and it landed perfectly on Bones' stick. A perfect pickup. That is a very creative stretch pass, and that just goes to show you the kind of stuff that, K-Cut likes to break out. He'll either want to carry it in or he'll get a bit fancy, and, it works. That sort of stuff. I mean, that created a chance going the other way. Just brilliant awareness.
He went off the draw, not to cut you off. Tendy the chance, drives to the net. Might have had a chance to sneak in. Desi able to intercept. Chance for BBB on the counter. Bones finds Sitful. Back to Jemima. The opportunity one way, not successful. The opportunity on the other. It's Jemima able to bury it. BBB find the breakthrough and then find the insurance just a few minutes later. Sin under 2 minutes to play. Is this one out of reach?
It might be. This is kind of how BBB likes to play sometimes. Their rush plays are incredibly good. I mean, look at that vision to hit the trailer right there in Jemima with a defenseman pitching up, and they kind of seem to thrive off that back and forth play. And Composure, well, they're down 2-0. They have some time, but they thrive more on the possession and aggression, and now they're chasing the game once again. Jemima starting in again with the bouncing.
A bit of bouncing, the attitude between these two teams. We called it a rivalry night, and for good reason. Final minute of play here in the third period. Composure not out of time, but at this point might be playing. See the bouncing again from Jemima. Composure might just be playing for a bit of pride here. Strong forecheck. BBB in possession. That one just misses. Jemima nearly got called for a trip there. Chance here for Nick down in the corner. Paralyzes right, but recovered. Clear attempt doesn't work for Bones. Off the boards, back in possession. Still not able to get it to go. 22 on the clock. Marco not able to make the play through the middle. Cleared out excellently by Sitful off the glass. It does go out of play, but no penalty taken. So again, a stalemate for the majority of the game, but the front three of BBB able to find the way to break through. Face off one again by Sitful, dumped out by K-Cut. His wingers give chase. Jemima does well. Bones not able to hold on to it. Final 8 of play. Intercepted by Desi. He'll carry it, and that'll do it. 2-0. Your final score. BBB take the first game of 2 goals from Sitful and Jemima down the stretch. Not what Composure would have been looking for. You know, again, you get that 1-1 split against Entourage. You hope, okay, we're going to be able to bounce back here and really get our night back on track. Now, again, tied for second coming into this, stretch of games. They're down to 13-4 on the season. And that second place spot slipping away from them a little bit. There's a lot to play for in this next game.
Yeah, it's never fun to get shut out, but getting shut out when you're the top offensive team hurts just a little bit more. You expect it of yourself to be able to put up those goals, and I gotta say, Jemima is definitely becoming one of my favorite personalities in this game. He spent the entire last 2 minutes running around, laying a hit, and then bouncing on the opponents. That sort of attitude and chirping is something I think we need more of here in the Sixes scenes. It creates a good amount of fun, good amount of drama as well, and well, we saw last time when he did that, his team sort of got beat in the next game. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him this time. But even at the same time, you love to see that sort of confidence and that sort of personality and stuff coming out from the players. It's just really cool, and it really goes a long way to helping grow this community of Sixes.
Regardless of how you view it, whether negatively or perhaps with a tad bit more of a positive spin, at the end of the day, BBB earned the right to have a little bit of attitude. You know, sure, you can do that if you want to, but at the end of the day, you don't win the game, you look like a fool. And
definitely.
For BBB, like you mentioned, they just shut out the highest scoring offense in this league.
Yeah, they got to be feeling it. Rights. Yeah, I mean, bragging rights to say the least. I mean, you have to be feeling it. They didn't just shut them out. They really shut them down in so many different instances in the game. And as we saw again, once Composure was chasing a game, they almost seemed to not fall apart. I think they did a better job in this one, but they just didn't seem comfortable. And they couldn't really play the game that they wanted to play. Their aggression just wasn't there enough, maybe a bit too hesitant. If there's any mind games being played, I'd say BBB is on the upper half of things, and Composure have got to kind of reset themselves and figure out a way to bounce back here.
Again, with that Composure front three, all of them over 40 points now on the season. Marco was the only one lagging behind, but after the games against Entourage, he is now over that 40-point limit. So you talk about it. 17 games played now for that front three. 40 points for Marco, 42 for Nick, 47 for Tendy. Shut down in the last game. We can sit here all day and talk about strategy and what they need to do differently. At the end of the day, I mean, again, you could sit here and say, well, everything. You just got shut out 2-0. On the flip side, maybe if you're Composure, you view it as, and we've seen this before. Actually, we got to see this not that long ago. I got to see it yesterday in an ECL Elite matchup where, you have a team where it's like, what just happened? How did that go so poorly for us? But then you can look at certain things and say, okay, well, if this went our way, just a couple of different things went our way, we would have won that game hands down. So I'm going to be intrigued to see if Composure tries to mix it up a little bit or stick with what they bring to the table and hopefully, have it work out for them in the second time around.
I think they have to mix it up because I didn't really see too many instances of, if we just, had this happen for us positively, we could have won that game. I feel like they just got outplayed in so many different ways in that game. And that's tough. And it's tough to outplay a team as good as they are offensively. But I think that they were in their heads a little bit, and it definitely showed on the ice. So the biggest adjustment they have to make is mentally right now. Yeah, you just got shut out, but you have it in you. So it's just like, what do you need to do to bring it? And it's not so much a little adjustment as more of like a sort of a mindset shift here in this second game.
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. We're going to see again, we're trying to avoid Composure puns and play on words as best we can. But again, like what that can do mentally to you, as we've said, the top offensive team getting shutouts, are they going to be able to maintain their sense of self-control? Yeah. Are they going to be able to keep that serenity amongst the team chemistry? I will continue to use thesaurus.com for as long as I can as we continue to buy time before the start of this next game. But again, tough to not make that play on words. But again, live up to your namesake. You kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit in that last game. You didn't get to play your game. Why didn't you get to play your game? Because BBB played theirs and played it so well. We're going to see what Composure's made of out of this game. One of the favorites to contend for a title this season. Yeah. You just had something that happened to you that you probably didn't expect to happen. Maybe you lose to a team as good as BBB, get shut out, get embarrassed, have Jemima bouncing on you. There's a lot that plays into that.
Definitely. And I feel like Composure today wanted to go in here and get 6 points minimum. Now they have to work very hard to just get 4 to get the split on the day, and that's probably not the situation they wanted to be in. And again, with it seems like the mental battle that they've having to take on right there, that has to be something that they just have to ignore right here. Just focus on the next game, focus on the next period, focus on the next play. You have to do something to generate some offense. You have to find a way to get BBB off of their game, because no matter what Composure seemed to do, BBB almost seemed to have an answer for it. And not just an answer, but they had a way to throw it back and create offense of their own off of it. We saw those impressive transitional plays where Composure got so close to maybe getting a dirty goal, a bouncing puck just on their stick to tap it in, and then BBB goes right back and scores a goal. And that's a disheartening thing to have happen. You feel like you're close, and then you get scored on in return.
Absolutely. Well, the good thing is, Sin, we are just about ready to go. We're going to see what Composure's made of here and how they're able to bounce back. Like you said, heading into the night, you want that 4-0 sweep. Right now, you're playing to hit that 500 mark, not where you wanted to be. But 500, hell of a lot better than a 1-3 mark where, again, you come into tonight with the league's best offense, and you've had some moments where you have struggled at times. So BBB, more of the same. Obviously adapt if Composure throws something else different at you. But, I mean, a near-perfect game played by BBB. Ultimately, Paralyzer not tested all that much, made the saves when he had to make them. So we're going to see how this one plays out. Our fourth and final game of the evening. Excited to see how this one plays out again between two of the top teams. We will say a friendly reminder. Drop a follow on the channel if you haven't already to follow more NACL action. ECL action. We'll have more of that for you this week. What's better than watching the top American teams? Some would say watching the top European teams, but perhaps it's just as good. Maybe it is better. I don't know. You decide. Check out the next ECL broadcast as well. Of course, NHLGamer.com for all the information that you need. Sin, we are ready to go. Our fourth and final game of the night, BBB and Composure. One more time.
And, we spoke on the mental capacity of Composure here, but we also need to touch on it a bit. There is such thing as overconfidence, and we saw the confidence last game from BBB, but if Composure comes out strong, you know, Jemima and his squad can't rest on their laurels. They're going to have to kind of reset themselves after feeling good about that, because they got more work to do here. If they can get the win here, this would be quite the coup against Composure.
Indeed, Composure in the black and on the attack here. The opportunity for Tendy somehow fights his way through the pressure, just getting smothered in the offensive zone. 3 members of BBB there defend him off. Sipfel, bit of space, has the room, not able to make the pass. Was Bones, the opportunity to find Jemima there, the quick chance. That pass from Desi doesn't go through space here for Tendy. Desi gives chase, pokes it off of him. The save from Paralyzer. That nearly would have been disastrous had that not hit off the pads as quickly as it did. Bones back for Jemima. Bones again in possession. BBB trying to work it around. Loose puck in front. Quick pass from Sitful. Able to find an unbelievable looks in. Able to find the open man. That reaction time. BBB strike first.
That is insane. He has the shot, but he knows that Hart is going to cheat way over to the side that he's more prone to shoot out, and he finds his teammate open in the slot for the guaranteed goal. That is quick thinking and just incredible awareness there from Sitful.
A phenomenal look. Bones with the goal. All 3 members of that forward line now have goals against Composure. They do it yet again. The chemistry, the reaction time on full display as Mark dumps this one in to Paralyzer's left, recovered by Desi, and quickly back in control now. BBB, K-Cut looking for a bit of space. The rushes for him have been neutralized a bit, but he has possession here, throws it in front. The opportunity for Jemima, but not able. And there you see the bouncing early on. He is feeling confident, that is for sure. Just not able to get the most of that shot, but a good chance again for BBB.
Yeah, and K-Cut just refused to be bumped off that puck, and they're starting to get this possession going and really starting to take over from Composure. And I want to point something out. They're doing this dump and chase thing, and the main reason I think that they're going for this is we have I believe, a build change for Tendy. He's going with a much smaller build than he was playing for, looking for the additional speed. So maybe that's the adjustment that Composure's trying to get more offense. Bit of dump and chase, get behind the defense, and, you know, look for those breakaways too. We saw it before. Desi made a good defensive play to break it up, but Tendy really looking to utilize some speed in this matchup.
We'll see how that works out for him. Again, we've seen his play thus far tonight. Does like to control the puck. See if he's able to withstand the back pressure. Chance for Marco here. Back to the point. Mark back to Marco. Going to hit the side of the net. Opportunity again for official Mark at the point. Has trouble. Bones is able to win it. He'll send it down. This should go for icing, but a huge race here. Jemima is not able to win that race. Puck will go all the way back down into the BBB zone. Big chance on the draw. Key in this game, Sin. Nick needs to do a better job against Sitful. Composure's going to find their way back into this, get those extra possessions, but as I say, that Sitful wins another one.
Yeah, and he has just been amazing for his team in the face-off circle. Those defensive zone face-offs, sometimes even more important than the offensive zone ones.
Chance again now. Nick dishes it back to Mark. Steps in. Chance, loose puck, covered by Paralyzer. Standing tall, doing well positionally, gets the cover. Again, BBB striking early. The goal from Bones off the assist from Sitful. Jemima also picking up the secondary assist, the front 3 for BBB doing well as Sitful wins another draw. Tendy gives a little bit of chase here. Can't get the shot off, though, off the skates of Desi. Mark back in possession. Here's Odie, been neutralized a little bit. Much like K-Cut loves to get involved. Still has the puck down low, throws it back in front. It's a go-to play for them. But Bones has it yet again. K-Cut dishes it over to the half wall. Or not to the half wall, but to the left-hand side there in the neutral zone. K-Cut again back in possession. Incomplete pass for him, though, unfortunately. And now again, Composure looking to find their way over the line. They cannot do so. It's offside with 5:19 remaining. Story of the game, perhaps, right now. Again, BBB making the most of their opportunities. Right now, the neutral zone trap game really stepping up in intensity.
Yeah, they are really just slowing Composure down on every single front, and Composure seems like they want to play fast. They want to get themselves into the game and take BBB off of it, but BBB is just doing a really good job of just slowing the game down to a pace that they are more comfortable with.
As he takes his time, finds his way over to Bones. Now again, it's Sipfel. Jemima jumps. Not offside here, though. BBB drop it all the way back to their own zone. Intentionally or not, Desi will recover. Able to find Bones again. Again, that quick pass, that quick chain of passes to working from one side of the ice to the other. That time unsuccessful. BBB back in possession. There's the hit from Tendy. Official mark at the point, drops it down to Marco. All the way back to Odie now. One-timer from the point, deflection bid perhaps, maybe off of the own defenseman as K-Cut went down for the block, but is saved by Paralyzer regardless. Marco back in possession. Jemima helping out. Odie picks this one off. Here's Nick now to Mark, shot on, and a save by Paralyzer. Yet again, standing tall. I mean, nearly picture perfect in his positioning throughout the games that we've called this far.
Yeah, and he hasn't had to be tested too much. That right there is Composure's probably biggest threatening offensive zone possession. But again, they can't get the offensive zone face-off, and they're on the back foot.
3 seconds here. Shot on, saved by Paralyzer. And no follow-up shot coming through the massive bodies in the slot. BBB score on their only shot of the period, as if it wasn't frustrating enough for Composure at this point in time.
And what's interesting to me, the stat line, it looks very skewed for Composure, but it doesn't feel like they're in complete control of the game because the neutral zone attack is very slow when they get it into the offensive zone. The shots that I feel like they're putting on net aren't the shots they want. They can't get the second opportunities. The times where they are able to use their aggressions are times where I think BBB passes back to their defenseman maybe at the wrong time and kind of puts them in no man's land. So Composure can capitalize off BBB's mistakes, but waiting for your opponent to make a mistake is not always the best strategy.
Marco in possession, bumped off the puck by Sipfel. Sipfel takes the hit. BBB looking to maintain possession. They can't. Turnover from K-Cut. Shot on. Deflection bid doesn't go. Marco looking to find Tendy in front. Here's Bones now for BBB. The spin. Shot blocked down. They go for the quick play here. Tendy has the space, and he buries it on the backhand. Composure find a breakthrough, and it's on the counterattack rather than through possession. Great heads-up play from the center, Nick. He finds Tendy, and Composure finally find a way to break through.
And that is why you see the build change from Tendy. They need goals. They need to create some space. They need some quick attack of their own if the aggression isn't working. And beautiful play right there to send him down. And Tendy just blazing speed down the center of the ice and buries it past Paralyzer. Tie game here. That is exactly what Composure needed. Something that BBB wasn't expecting. It's a new game now.
A spectacular call out there, Sin. Tendy going with that faster build. They utilize it to a great advantage in the early stages of the second period, but a chance here quickly taken away. Odie in possession finds Tendy again. Looks to cut in. Extremely small build for that matter. Chance here for Jemima, not able to make his way past Odie. Again, normally a bit more offensively involved, but certainly relying more on his defensive game. Chance now again, Tendy down the half wall, finds Marco down low. Marco shot on, save, secondary chance, Paralyzer makes another save. Wrap chance off the post, that close. Tendy within just a couple of inches of getting the lead for Composure, instead still at one apiece.
And they are coming out strong, kind of have BBB on the ropes here early on. If Nick can start winning a few more face-offs, well, speak of the devil.
Wins that one. Chance, Marco had a piece of that one. It goes straight through the blue paint. And now BBB back on the counter. But again, Nick is there on the back check to help out his defenseman. It was his A-grade vision that led to that goal that tied this game up. Bones in possession now. Over the line, sends it down low to Jemima. Again, now Sipfel tries to find Bones in front rather than going for the wraparound. Just post. This puck clipped just wide of the post. Easy for me to say when the action is this hot and heavy. Chance here now again. Odie looking for space. Tries to find Nick in front. They love that play, but BBB well aware of it. Marco now again. Finds its way all the way to Odie. Has trouble with Bones. Jemima there to pick it up. Sipfel also in the play. They try to drop it back. Marco nearly walked away with that one. Here's K-Cut though. Sends it over to the left into the open space. He does that so well. Sipfel back to the point. As he dishes it down low, nobody home. Ultimately recovered by Composure. Under 8 minutes remaining here. Odie hands it off, essentially. The puck thrown in front. The pass attempt, really nobody there, but just throw it into the mix, see what happens. Jemima to Sipfel, loose puck to the right of Hart. Well fought on for Jemima, back down to Bones again. These passes just off for BBB. A little bit of a run of bad luck here through the latter half of the second period. Odie has it now. This one will go offside. Tendy jumped the gun. 6:11 remaining. Tied at 1 goal apiece here. Sid, what do you think? Are we going to see a breakthrough down the back half here of the second period?
I definitely think we can. BBB is definitely posturing for it, and their timing maybe slightly off, but more so on that last one. Sitful just got hung up on the net right there, so he wasn't able to get behind for the puck.
Not on, and a glove, or not a glove save, but a blocker save by Hart. There's another play nearly developed. Difficult to tell the difference between a blocker and a gigantic catching glove at times. There's also, Sin, something called a stick that should normally help you not make that mistake, but you never know. Mistakes can still be made on occasion. This puck down into the Composure zone, off the draw. Recovered by Mark. Nearly 4 minutes left. He finds Nick up the middle. Huge hit there from Jemima, even with the smaller build. Bones has it now. Sipfel. Shot just wide of the blocker. And recovered. The secondary opportunity didn't go through. Composure here on the rush. Tendy with speed. Desi looking to fend him off. And he does excellently. And a chance now. Bones looks to lead the rush. Can't find Jemima. Odie standing tall. Chance here again for Tendy. Tries to go back for Marco. K-Cut reads that. A minute and a half remaining here. Can a team find a breakthrough? Sipfel. Shot. Rebound is there. Jemima is there. And Sid nearly on cue. BBB regain the lead. Spectacularly done. The front three strike again.
Yep, and it's those quick transitional plays. They love those, and those dirty kind of goals, the rebound goals, throwing the puck out front, just hoping for a stick, hoping for a bounce, and it keeps working, and that's why you put the puck towards the net, because good things can happen. In this case, Jemima with the go-ahead goal here, and really good awareness, and maybe a bit of a fortunate bounce off the pads right there, but you practice that a lot. You know where to shoot it.
Indeed, here BBB grab the late lead. Chance here again for Sipfel down in the corner around the back of the net. Again, BBB, the turnover in the neutral zone. Will there be a late goal here? Back over, Chance, Bones, can't get it to Sipfel. Puck on net, but Hart able to fend it off. So BBB certainly adding to the goal column there. But certainly this game, I think, is far, far from over soon.
Far from over, definitely. And, Composure, they have the time on attack. They have the shots. But, I mean, if people watching out there, I mean, they don't seem to have those A-plus opportunities. Or at the very least, they just simply aren't able to bury them. But I think it's a combination of both. They're a bit snake-bitten right now, but they're also not threatening the middle. BBB's collapse has been really good. And I think Composure needs to dish it back to the points a bit more, at least on the zone entries. There's a couple opportunities where Tendy has a chance to drop it back to Odie, but he's opted to kind of carry it through. And with that smaller build, you do not have the puck control and the balance that you have with a medium-sized two-way build.
Good protection here from Sipfel. Dishes it back down low. Jemima's there. Able to win that one-on-one battle. Now back to the point. Shot on from Desi, blocked away. Bones still battling for it. Tendy comes up with it. Again, a little bit of trouble on the breakout here for Composure. 2-1. Bones and Jemima the goals for BBB. Tendy the goal for Composure. Has it now, dishes it back to Odie. Has a little bit of trouble. Jemima was over there to help. BBB looking to work their way through the neutral zone. Desi stepping up, but has trouble. Here's Marco now. 2-on-2 developing. Back for Nick. Draws the call. And Sin, if there was ever an opening, here it is for Composure. Going to the power play. K-Cut goes to the box yet again.
Yep, a huge opportunity right there. It's going to start with the face-off. Can Nick beat the odds here? His team needs possession.
Tie up on the play. Loose puck still recovered by Tendy. Opportunity, gets it in front. But ultimately, Paralyzer stands tall. Again, we talked about Perry before. A veteran as much of a veteran as you can be in the Sixes community. Positioning on point makes the save. Another big draw here. And again, Nick able to win it. Odie has it at the point. Crosses over, different side now. Mark has it. D to D passing to try and open up the space. Excellently done. Mark steps in, just tests the near post a bit too late. It's off the side of the net. Puck sent down by Desi with 50 seconds to go on the man advantage for Composure. Down by 1 here. Looking for an organized breakout. Here we go. About as organized of a breakout as you can get. Again at the point now. Here's Mark. Slap shot blocked. Recovered. Puck still loose. Jemima has it. And we'll send it all the way down. We are back to even strength. Excellently done by BBB. A couple of chances for Composure. Just not able to pull the trigger at the proper time as this one goes over the glass. Out of play with 13:41 remaining.
Tough break right there. I do like that they're trying to utilize the build change from Tendy a lot. That seems to be a big part of their game plan, and it has worked. It's got him that goal. That one's a bit unfortunate. That bounce right there gives Tendy a good chance to take a whack at it, drive it behind the net to set up some offense.
Marco not able to pull the trigger. K-Cut was there. Nick has it. Dishes it back to the point. Now again down low. Hit there from Jemima. Puck's loose. Recovered by Marco. Jemima continuing to help out the defense. Puck thrown in front. Tendy can't pull the trigger. Bones was there to assist. Sipfel finds Jemima down in the corner. Loose puck. Recovered by Sipfel again. Back to the point. Bit of possession time here for BBB. Sipfel has it. Shot on. Saved by Hart. Neutralizes the rebound opportunity. 10:54 to go. See what happens here on this big time draw. Sin, another big time face off.
Yep, and we'll see if Nick can kind of start carrying over the momentum. Another good tie-up, and his team does get possession. The counterattack on the way here. Big hit from Jemima, though, to break it up.
Chance here again. Composure in possession. Odie has it. Looks to send it in front and cannot do it. BBB is all over that play. Odie's so good at it, but he just can't find the space. This will go down for icing. Another big face-off for Nick with 9:22 left. The clock slowly ticking down. Composure running out of time. See what Nick can do here. Can he win another crucial draw here in the offensive zone? Yes, he can. He wins it clean. Odie has it, steps down low. Back to the point, one-timer from official Mark is blocked. Thrown back in front, loose puck, paralyzer. Able to find it in the paint. And perhaps some frustration there on display from Marco.
Cannot get the bounces. Their ideas are good. They're throwing pucks at the net. They're throwing pucks in front of the net. This is what they need to be doing when you're down by 1. You need to try to get that bounce, just not able to do so. And unfortunately, Sitful with a big win. Nick, his little streak there of winning faceoffs is over. It was a really good stretch there. And you saw the kind of offense that Composure got from it.
Composure go back in possession, back in the zone. Odie dishes it back to the point. Mark has it. Finds Marco. Shot on, and a glove save by Paralyzer again. No rebound, though. Excellent positioning from the BBB netminder. As we are approaching the final stretch here. 6:42 remaining in regulation. 11-10 out of the draws in Composure's favor. Make it 12. Odie has it. Again down low. Shot on blocked. Rebound chance was there. Tendy not able to pull the trigger. BBB have it, though. 2-on-1 here potentially. Players rushing back. Bones not able to get a shot off. Composure have it yet again. Bones giving chase. Odie still has it. Now it's Marco over the blue line. Composure find the space. Big board battle there. Composure come up with it. Tendy. Now back to Odie. Shot. Saved by Paralyzer. Rebound is there. Desi able to regather it, though, for his team. Has a little bit of trouble here on the forecheck. 3.5 minutes to go. Jemima able to find Bones, or not Jemima, but Sipfel able to find Bones. Jemima now battling for it down low in the corner. K-Cut has it, sends it over. Bones, Jemima, gigantic save by Hart. His biggest of the game, makes it with the blocker. Sometimes maybe better to be lucky than good. But he's ultimately in the right spot, keeping it a 1-goal game. But again, Composure running out of time. Pass over to Tendy. Fended off well by Desi. Now here again, the rush from BBB. Jemima protecting. Has space. Finds K-Cut. Not able to pull the trigger. Marco now. 45 seconds. A little bit over remaining. Chance for Nick. Throws in the front. Shot just wide of the glove side. Chance again. One-timer. Blocked down in front. Nick has it. Shot through the blue paint by Tendy. Composure throwing everything at the goal they can. Shot on, saved by Paralyzer. And a stretch pass for Jemima. He is tripped. BBB to the power play with 26.8 remaining. Not much you can do there. I believe that's Mark going to the box. What a save by Paralyzer.
Composure just that close. They can't seem to buy a goal right now, and that's a tough situation to be in. I mean, they're playing so good in this last stretch right now, but maybe a bit too little too late. They needed this for longer periods of time in this game, and while these chances look good, it's just not quite enough. Look at that. Look how close this is. Oh, I mean, that speaks for itself. A tough shot to make, but oh man, if you're Tendy, you're gripping your controller very tight right now.
Big win by Mark. Goes for the set play. You're able to do that right now. Down a man, not able to maintain possession though. Here's Sipfel. He'll draw it back. And all the way back now into the zone. Final 10 seconds. K-Cut sends it out, willing to kill time. Jemima's there. 5 on the clock. Back over, shot, and in off the blocker of Hearts. Insult to injury as Bones buries that one, and BBB will successfully pull off the double.
Wow, and just the tic-tac passing of BBB. They have just incredible chemistry between their passing, and they love to dish that puck around, and they're so quick with it. And that just goes to show you how often these guys play together, the chemistry level between them, and tough break for Composure. They were so close to tying that game up, but they just weren't able to really get those high quality chances enough times in this game to really make it, an effective kind of strategy. It's unfortunate for them, but I think BBB, for the most part, deserved both of those W's. I think the last one was much closer, and it could have gone either way, but BBB didn't do anything wrong. It's not like they got thoroughly outplayed and didn't deserve the W there.
Absolutely. I mean, again, a very tough break for Composure, second best, or at least tied for second best in the league. Heading into this series of 4 games, they walk away with just 1 win. BBB have jumped them outright in the standings now because of that. Very tough night for this Composure lineup. Interesting thing, of course, about BBB's last goal, that was the first point that we saw from a defenseman. That's how dominant the forwards were in terms of driving the play. Again, we've seen it before. K-Cut, his ability, to dump the puck into open space, and it absolutely paid off there. I think right when Composure probably expected the game to just be over. K-Cut, crafty play results in an extra goal to pad the stats. Yep. BBB make a statement, winning 2 games out of 2 against the league's best offense. Again, heading in to tonight's games. So to talk quickly though about the BBB lineup overall before we get to Composure, who were the featured team of the night. I mean, again, you want to talk about a team that can go all the way? Talking about BBB.
And they proved it tonight. I mean, and more on the point of that, of what you pointed out with K-Cut, his ability to kind of make those weird dump plays that happen. He always seems to do it twice a game. Just when you think perhaps it's a bit of a fluke and, he didn't really mean to do that, he does the same thing again. The first series we covered on them, he danced through the entire team, got a penalty shot, scored. Danced through with the team again, scored again. In this case, he did a perfect dump to Bones the first time to create a scoring opportunity, and did it one more to Jemima, which created a goal at the other end. I mean, that's just the mark of a really elite player right there. And when you get creative with the puck like that and the way he does, it opens up so much on the ice. And BBB, tremendous job getting the 2-0 against Composure.
Tough to say that there's one player in particular who stood out. I mean, you might have to give it to Paralyzer. Just 1 goal allowed over the course of those 2 games. But that front 3, so dangerous, so dominant at times. And, fair play to Desi as well. I mean, it's tough when you see a lot of flashy plays from the other 4 skaters on the ice. He's no slouch himself. He holds his own. He belongs on that team. There's not a single member of that team that gets carried in any way. So a spectacular display overall from BBB. But as we shift our focus again to our featured team of the night in Composure, a very disappointing night. 1-3, not the night that you would have wanted whatsoever. A chance to maybe try and make up some ground and grab that top spot. As you know, we're heading down the back half of the season. But again, a very rough night. Overall, started off well. Again, Marco, Nick, and Tendy. Nick in particular, I should say, scoring some goals, some crucial goals. But for the league's #1 offense, you have to wonder what happened. Was it just a matter of running in to some really good competition, which absolutely was the case? Was it just an off night? Or are there some areas of concern that perhaps they're going to need to address over the back half of the season?
That's a tough one for us to answer, but I'm sure they have a lot of things in their head, about ways they can improve or what they think perhaps the issue is. But it can get, a little scary when you're the top offensive team, then you take on these other top teams in the league, and all of a sudden you have trouble scoring. I mean, that can kind of fill you with some doubts here, and this is not the time for doubts. The season is going by very quickly. The playoffs, are going to be approaching fast, and Composure have got to get it together and find what made them that strong offensive team and get back to it quickly.
Absolutely. We'll continue to see how that all plays out as we follow along with the NACL season. That is going to do it for us tonight here, though. We do thank you very much for joining us. Again, if you haven't dropped the channel, follow, feel free to do so. Of course, NHLGamer.com for all your information, not only on the NACL, but of course the ECL and the forward-tiered system there, as you can catch as many games as we can broadcast. Lord knows that's the intention, to bring you as much high-level Sixes action as we possibly can. And of course, check us out as well on Instagram and Twitter, NHLGamer. Sin, any parting words for the fine people who have stuck it out with us through this broadcast?
No, just thank you guys for watching. Thank you for helping us bring more legitimacy to Sixes gameplay, which is, as we believe, the future of NHL esports.
Absolutely. You can find Sin on Twitter at Sin4TheWinProd. You can also find him on YouTube at Sin for the Win Productions as well. Find me everywhere at Tugi24. We will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe. Have a good night. Until next time.